What's up, All Day family? Hello and welcome to the All Day Podcast. I'm Brett. That's Lofa. We're talking Seahawks football, recapping the 26-20 loss to the Los Angeles Rams today at Lumen Field here in Seattle. We're trying to look up all the penalties. Is what you caught us. You caught us midstream looking up the penalties and the penalty summary.
Right. Just the overview or breakdown of the game.
Today, I laugh and smile so that I won't cry. That was a tough one, man. I texted the group heartbreaking. I texted frustrated.
Roller coaster.
Okay.
Of emotions.
Yeah.
And normally I'm pretty in the moment, right? Mamba mentality, right? I tell you, we don't go up here, we don't go down here, we just stay right here. And holy shit, I was all over the place.
The highs were really high, the lows were really low.
F&A Cotton.
Bro, I'm telling you. On today's episode, everybody, the red zone troubles, turnovers for Geno, 12 penalties. Which penalty was your favorite? Tell us in the chat.
That's the question.
O-line. The O-line, the offensive line. Producer Mike, Money Mike over here, pre-show, just says, do we really have to talk about the offensive line again?
Well,
it's
like a broken record.
I know.
I mean, not just there, but I'm talking penalties.
Yes.
Turnovers.
Giving up sacks. Yeah.
Bad snaps.
Not a lot of holes to run through.
Bad snaps
Again. The only bright spot, possibly JSN's big day, so we're going to go through that, of course. The defense, they stopped the run, but had trouble stopping Stafford when they needed to. Reek, Woolen, we got to talk about that. A missed extra point, and
which
just
proved costly.
The math always finds you. It always finds you, everybody. I mean, have you ever seen a team miss an extra point and then just go ahead and win by 13 anyway? No. You always end up going to overtime or something. It gets you every time.
I even thought, I was like, should we go for two here when we did score, because we missed the first one or whatever. We just kicked it anyways. But, yeah, I don't know. We all had a hand or foot in this one.
Oh, man. The only bright spot of the game for me, personally, was last week I brought my son to the game. This week I got to bring my daughter. And so to see her experience Lumen for the first time at this game, because my son has been there before. It was her first time. She's seen road games, but this was the first one in the big building, and it was loud. First of all,
that's where I was going to go.
Yeah,
next.
You want to start with the 12s first of all? Now we know that the Rams have no fans. There's not such a thing as a real Los Angeles Rams fan.
True.
So we knew that the Rams wouldn't travel as well as the other teams, but the 12s, they stepped up in this game. They were loud. They stayed till the end. The team fought hard for them. Very disappointing, obviously, with the final play there and the way that it really ended. Oh. But it was loud in there, at least. The energy felt back a little.
It was electric.
Yeah.
I'm not lying.
Yeah.
It was the first time in a while I heard it loud. They answered the call. You answered the call. Everybody was there. 12s.
Yeah.
If anyone gets credit today, it's them.
However, the team on the field, we would move the ball, we would get it down into the red zone, and then we would turn the ball over, or we would get some penalties, or we would have a bad snap, or something would happen. But the red zone miscues and the red zone turnovers hurt a lot.
It all hurts, brother.
That's what we got first up here.
Yeah. I don't really know where to begin. I can't keep saying I feel bad. I feel like I can just play the repeat of last week and the week before and the week before. The big numbers, penalties and turnovers.
Yeah.
And we're going to overtime with all this shit going wrong. Like if we clean one of them up, not even both. I'm a realist. Let's focus on one.
Right.
All right. So either just get rid of the penalties or get rid of the turnovers. It's an easy win.
Yeah.
So.
Well, but they couldn't.
No.
They couldn't.
I got to believe it's going to be a focal point of the of the bye week.
Okay. Right. However, they would get there. The first interception came on the 40. That's not in the red zone. The first, what'd you see on the? Should we go interception by interception, or should we just stick with just what happened in the red zone? I mean, look, the first. What'd you see on the first interception?
Which one was that?
That was the one. Geno Smith short middle interception intended for JSN. This was the one.
Oh, bounced off JSN. He came back.
Yeah.
I thought he came back. He was in. It was zone. And he found the pocket like he always does, but he jumped, and I saw him cup this way to catch the ball.
Yes.
Body catching basically, and it just bounced off. And the only way for the ball.
No. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, keep going.
Only way for the ball to go from here is up, right?
Oh.
So if you go here,
We were McNeil and I and my daughter. We were down under the Hawk's nest for this one, and so we almost had the Madden view of this interception from behind the video game view.
Yeah.
Okay. He drops back to pass. He sort of double pumps it.
Yeah.
JSN opens himself up, but JSN's traveling to JSN's right.
yeah,
The ball is high and outside to the left. It's bad form on both parts,
on
Peter.
both, yes.
Yeah.
So it was like, and it was a fucking rocket of a throw.
It was.
He stepped into that one.
Kind of.
Yeah, but he
and
was,
it was
a cannon.
just here.
And, yeah.
Yikes.
So, you know, as you're working back to the ball, it's just the hand positioning for me. That's what I saw and why the ball went up. And the guy that was nowhere near him has time to come back and just, here's a ball. But it's the zone though. So
Yeah.
sit down. And
Okay.
then if the ball, because Geno's very accurate, now you work back to it with anything above the chest, hands up.
Okay.
Anything underneath,
Yeah. It wasn't good form on the catch. The throw, like I said, high and I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
That was the first one. Then let's see. How about there's more of them. I'm just going through the play-by-play here, everybody. I mean, the one on their 19. The fourth quarter one. I'm getting more and more frustrated the more I'm just looking at my phone. Like
the one to the house.
The house call.
Fuck. I mean,
What did you see on that one?
I don't. It's like I want to just forget them all, but it's that was I think the one I didn't see. I was walking between fucking suites at this point. I had to go somewhere, say hi, do some high fives. I brought energy.
Yeah.
I brought the energy.
Bringing the positive noise.
And then I just look at the screen. And I just see a fucking dude running all the way down the field. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
And running and running and running.
But we were a little. We stick with the run with the 22 runs, right? Mm-hmm. And you got carries today, right? But I even hate running out of the shotgun, right? You don't get momentum. I would take it back to what I saw in person last night with my Trojans. We need 1 yard, and we're fucking 6 yards deep in the shotgun to get 1 yard, and we get smoked for a 4-yard loss. Make it make sense.
How long into the show? Was that under 10 minutes? Under 10 minutes, he brought up the Trojans.
I had to.
Who had under 10 minutes? Anybody?
Oh, my God.
Brought up the Trojans under 10 minutes.
But so either way, I just don't get why we're not lining up an I and just hammering, right? Or getting into big personnel and going after, putting the ball in the air, which leads to the more times you put the ball in the air, the more bad things that can go wrong. Mm-hmm. Holding penalties, which we've seen a lot of. False starts, delay games, all these things. Checking at the line, which I think, fuck it. Just line up and play. At some point, just line up, go to the line with one play, and just fucking run the play. Because then you're not at least fighting yourself. But, yeah, the touchdown, I mean, that swings everything in their momentum. And it's crucial, not just the turnover, but points on a turnover. The stats very, probability when just
it
goes
hurt
all the way up.
That one hurt, everybody. Thanks for joining the show. We see it filling up over there. The viewers are piling in. The commenters are filling up the comments. You know that Lofa and I are here for as long as you guys have questions and comments tonight. We'll be here with you all night long. Thank you to our sponsor, Bet Online. You guys, Bet Online, the world's #1 betting platform for all things NFL. Use their mobile app or the browser, betonline.ag, where the game starts. While you're filling up the chat, if you need something to fill up the chat with, what are you most frustrated by? Yeah. Is it the coaching? Is it the offensive line? Is it the quarterback play? Or is it something else altogether? Is it the penalties? Man, it could be the penalties. Is it the defense? I mean, they stopped the run. But where was the rest of it? What has you most frustrated out there? Fill up the chat and let us know.
I can answer.
Yeah.
Or is this for them?
You can. No, go ahead. Yeah.
Missed opportunities in the turnover department.
Mm-hmm.
I think Spoon is my favorite player to watch. I never thought I'd be saying this about a corner, ladies and gentlemen, as a linebacker. But fucking, he is awesome.
Yeah? What?
How about when he gripped the ball and he threw the guy, like body slammed him, just trying to get the ball. Most guys are just trying to go after their legs.
Yeah.
But he was up there in run support, smacking fools. Like, just look for the ball. You'll find Spoon.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, they're going to come because he's punching at it and he's going after it. I don't see anybody else doing that. Like, are we just happy with getting the guy down?
Man, I wish I saw what you saw. I was extremely frustrated today by him. And this season, a little bit, to be honest with you.
Okay. But then let me get to the turnovers, right?
Okay.
The ops. Ernest Jones. Paul just he lollipops one right to you.
That's a missed opportunity.
And this is the team that let you go.
Yeah.
This is where I was like, this is your chance to, like,
I know.
give him the big fuck.
And he tried to play it off, too.
Well, you have to.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and I love that about him. Like, hey, no, fuck it.
But everybody saw it.
Oh, it's tough. Dude, you know that hurt him, right? And then we'll get to it later, but we had another one. Attack the ball. And
we got defense coming up.
Oh,
no,
okay.
Don't worry. We're going to get there.
Okay, my bad.
Offensive line, which Money Mike, he's sick of talking about the offensive line. But the offensive line, offensive again, giving up 7 sacks.
That's a lot of sacks.
But you know what? I want to start with Connor and the snap.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were more snaps than just the one. There were a couple snaps that were just lucky Geno's got good hands. It was just rockets out to his right side that he's catching with one hand.
And it's hard to read a defense when you're over here looking for the ball.
What's going on with the snaps? My 7-year-old daughter yelled, "Come on, Connor," from under the Hawk's nest. What's up?
I don't know if there's an undisclosed injury, but he is putting some mustard on that ball. Like, it's impressive. I didn't think anybody could snap that hard.
You guys, somebody's got to help me out with this one. I mean, you're not doing the long snapping thing. You're not having to put a spin on it. It's not that far back there. Just kind of lob it back behind you. How tough is it?
Well, that's the point I was going to go to is, usually it's a straight back spiral.
Yeah.
He kind of throws like a knuckleball sometimes because he snaps it. When you look at the shotgun, he sweeps it, but it's sideways.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like, whoosh. And I know the first one, that was through Geno's hands, right?
Okay.
He seemed like he was ready for it. His eyes at the timing of the snap as they replayed it was like.
Little Peyton Manning, Super Bowl.
Yeah. Was that, or was that just over Peyton's head?
Like
the second one. So the second one, what I saw there was we're going to he's going to check, right? And someone's not getting it out there. So I think he was said something like posse, right? Like that's the check, right? He looks over and the other guy's like, what? And so he's trying to tell him, goes back to the line, and there's 1 second anyway. So we're either going to get a delay game, another penalty, or now the ball goes just flying by him.
Yeah.
And I still don't think it was a really good snap. Even if he was ready for it, it would have been high left.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but maybe go under center for once.
Yeah, but right. And have you seen something like this though? I mean, 2 games in a row, 2 games in a row. 2 games in a row with almost the exact same play where K9 has to run back, scoop it up, then run for his life. And I started thinking, is he going to try to throw it?
Yeah.
Maybe he listened to the podcast.
Well, yeah, they should start doing that. Yeah.
Come on, man. Like,
but
we're beating ourselves.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know if it's an injury thing. Does he have the yips?
Yips.
Like, like a golfer?
Gotta be.
Just pulling the putter?
How about the 7 sacks? Is that on Geno?
I would have to go back
Is it
and
on the
look
offensive
at all of
line?
Like, that's okay, you look at, like, the timing issue. Like, I mean, the first one, Connor got beat by the rook, is it Braden Fisk?
Come on, Connor.
I mean, it was just like bang, bang. Just got the ball, got smoked.
Come on, Connor.
And so, but I didn't, the other, I don't care how you got the other 6. It's still 6 fucking sacks. That's all I'm saying. That's a lot of sacks.
That's a lot of sacks, man. That's a lot of sacks. How about the running game? We stuck with it.
Yeah.
Tough sledding out there.
Oh, my God. Both teams. I think we were 3.3 a rush, and they were like 3-1.
Okay, but starting out the game, and 12s, you guys chime in. You guys let us know in the chat there. Oh, McNeil and I were counting. What was it, 4 straight runs at one point during that first drive? Maybe 5 out of the first 6 plays at least. I mean, they were committed to running the ball right off the bat. It was almost like they were sending a message, not just to the Rams, but to everybody watching.
Point of emphasis, I'm guessing, this past week. And, but... That was
25. I got it.
We had 100 yards rushing, though, right?
25 carries for Kenneth Walker for 83. Charbonnet, 2 carries for 8. Geno, 6 for 16. I think we barely got there.
We clipped it.
Yeah.
But they didn't break 100, did they? I thought we did a good job against them. So let me see. I'm pleasantly surprised.
We got 68. To 107. They only had 68. But we're not talking about them. We're talking about us.
They're talking run game still.
Yeah, all right. But but we're on our offensive line and the running the running holes or lack thereof.
Yeah. 100 yards rushing. I mean,
as a team.
I'll take that. That's improvement from 32 yards last week. That's threefold. That's threefold.
What's it going to take? Mr. Silver Linings over here.
No. But I did at least I still don't see them consistently like you're working in tandems on double teams. All right. Well, you either better be getting great push off the ball in the line of scrimmage, or you better be climbing to the next level and just creating a wave, like 2 different a separation. But if you don't, then now everybody just slams in. Like, say these are 3 gaps, right? And these are the 3 defense, and they just go straight through. Like, they shoot the gap. But if they climb up and separate one of the defenders at the second level, the linebacker, the safety, all that, now he's got a C gap, an A gap, a backdoor B gap, depending on the over or under front they're in. So, like, there's just – you have 3 lanes to pick from. All it takes is one of these 3 linemen to fuck up.
So it's more scheme than line.
I would say so.
So it's on Grubsy and the running design.
Yeah, the design of it. Because we're running zone, but I've never seen zone where there's nowhere to go. Like, that's what's got me baffled about what is going on. Zone is the hardest to defend, especially if you have, like, you actually don't even need high draft pick. Like Shanahan, Mike Shanahan back in the day, Kyle. Like, I can't even remember him using draft picks on linemen. He had, like, some undrafted guys every year, and then he had an undrafted running back, but he always had a run game. Why? Because when the zone scheme is taught properly, it kills you, man. But then the spacing of the linemen's even a little tighter.
It just seems like it's like if K9 can make someone miss and makes a dazzling play on his own, then it's going to be a decent run. But if that doesn't happen, he just has nowhere to go. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It has to happen. He has to be better than everybody else on that play for our running game to do pretty much anything.
Yeah, it's
a lot.
Most of the time, you get hit in the backfield.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, like, I can't even, like, fault him for, like, sometimes his tempo's not right. He's a hell of a running back. It's just there's not much to be had.
I think he is making chicken salad out of chicken, you know what, most of the time, because the other running back on the team can't get much going in that way.
So like I said, get creative. So you saw the Rams, right? Or you saw the last 3 teams we played, the Niners, Buffalo. Niners and Buffalo ran the same fucking play. They just fucking worked up to the second level, and the running back has 3 gaps to choose from. So Mason from the Niners, Cook from Buffalo. Like, my mom could have got 5 yards on some of those plays. I shit you not, brother.
She yelled out 5.5.
Hey, probably. But either way, you're not getting touched. Those guys, there was several runs where Cook didn't even get touched for 7 last week. And then this week, dude, it's just like we did do better. But now I'm talking our offensive line. Like, the Rams came in, they're using the receivers in the count. Like, they're not just outside hanging out with the DB,
Right.
playing
Patty cake.
high five and patty cake. Yeah.
Right.
They're bringing Nakua into the C gap between the tight end and the tackle and going up, and that causes like a new whole nother hole on each side. So now someone's got to fit inside, someone's got to fit outside. But I'll tell you what works, and I know KJ used this a lot with y'all. You got to check whoop ass. If you got a receiver coming up through the C gap, just kick his ass. They're not going to do that. If you beat the shit out of their starting receiver, they're going to be like, hey, let's not send him up through on a 250-pound linebacker again.
This makes sense to me.
Right?
I like that kind of football.
But I'm just saying they're getting creative with how they're making guys think out there, or like, okay, where's my fit now? And this, but either way, it's we gotta get creative. Is all I'm saying.
Well, silver linings, bright spots. The biggest bright spot of the game was JSN. Career game, best game of his career so far, has to be 7 receptions, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns.
On
And
7.
I think he had how many more yards?
70 or more yards called back.
They got called back, because of
penalties.
the bad penalties. 12 penalties on the day. Did we mention that?
Yeah.
Which one was your favorite? Fill up the comment section. Actually, you know what? Fill up the comment section with some silver linings and some bright spots real quick. Because which JSN catch was the most impressive? He not only was making great catches and making great plays, but just tough out there, taking some huge hits. A big hit on the sideline that was right before. Yeah. Was that the second touchdown? I think it was before his second one, which he got popped on that one too. Yeah. And then that was one where he did the Lumen leap. Yeah. The mini. It's not as high of a wall as Lambeau's got. We have a little mini Lumen leap wall there, but that looked nice.
Oh, I mean, that throw and catch right there. I mean, Geno threaded that fucking thing.
Yeah.
And he caught it, and then got popped, right? But, yeah, he had a hell of a game. There was it third or fourth? There was a big third or fourth down that he caught one over the shoulder that, I mean, we were going fucking nuts. But Johnny Langston, saw my boy today. He was there, and he's a big-time all-day fan member, and he goes, JSN's going to go off today. He was right.
He did.
Got to give him credit.
Yeah. Another play that we watched from under the Hawks' nest, so we got that video game view of, was an early reception by JSN. Might have even been on the first drive where he kind of caught one coming over the middle. They had sort of some blockers out there. He broke tackles, was pinballing off of some guys.
He broke 3 tackles.
Almost looked like Jermaine Kearse back, and they just sort of wheeling, spinning around and bouncing off of guys. And I almost said to McNeil after that play, just like, he's going to get going now. It's like that thing where, like, it's like he broke a few tackles that he was even kind of surprised he was still running and was like, oh, wow, I'm still going here. And, man, he really just got going after that, and just he had what a day. What a day he had. I mean, if he can be that, we get DK back. Well, I mean, Tyler's still doing his thing. Let's not forget about Tyler Lockett out there, still doing his thing.
But, I mean, well, Jason, we have 11 or 12 against the Patriots, so it's not like we haven't seen this before.
Right.
And arguably, he dropped in that game a corner route that was beautifully placed by Geno, but the New England one, that he was wide open on. And he can get open, but his hands, they're great. So it's kind of baffling that he just in the moment went, like, reverse on that one pass that led to an
It just got
interception.
on him hot, I think.
It's a
Like you
missile.
said,
It
yeah,
was-
Geno's got a strong arm.
Cannon.
Sometimes you got to maybe dial it back a little bit.
Take a little off. Him and Connor, both of them.
Hey, thanks for joining everybody out there. The viewers are filling up. The comments are filling up. What has you most frustrated is the question of the night. Penalties, coaching decisions. How about, decisions to go for it or not? Does that have you frustrated out there? If it's something else, please specify. Let us know. And thanks for being here. Shout out to Delta. Speaking of throwing the ball, Geno did throw for quite a few yards despite the 3 picks today. He ends with 363 Delta Sky Miles on the day.
3 touchdowns, too. So, I mean, you're going to say the picks. You better say the touchdowns, too.
Yeah, but you don't get Sky Miles for the touchdowns.
I'm just saying. Talk about the picks. You better talk about the touchdowns.
Only for the yards. 12status.com, everybody. Go to 12status.com. Sign up for 12 Status with Delta Airlines. You get 1 Delta Sky Mile for every yard that the Seahawks throw for this season, no matter who's throwing the ball. So for this game, you got an extra 363 yards. Thank you to Delta and 12status.com. I'm sure they will fill up the comments with some JSN stuff, and we'll hit that when we open it up to the Q&A. Let's go to the defense, though.
80.
What, buck 80?
7 catches, buck 80.
Oh, yeah. Sweet average today. The defense, the run defense showed up, showed out. They were great. I loved looking at the stat board all the way throughout the game at their rushing total. That was sweet. Pass defense?
3.1. Pass defense. I mean, Cooper Kupp, he didn't score, but 11 for 104. But we've seen a lot, worse.
Yeah, that's a very Cooper Kupp stat line,
right?
Yeah, he's always doing that.
That kid Robinson, fuck, he had a day.
Well, so we give up 26 points. 6 of those points, or 7, really, were the pick 6, right?
Yes.
So,
yeah, but overall, I wasn't really.
I'm looking for silver linings here.
Yeah,
Mike's
that's one of
laughing.
them. That's one of them. But I wasn't. I was pleasantly surprised, but just missed opportunities, right? I keep coming back to Ernest with that pick, but then, and I don't want to jump to the end, but fucking we might as well talk about it. When
we're on defense, go for it.
When that ball left Stafford's hand, this is what happened.
You're talking about the first play in overtime, or second play,
whatever. Yeah,
yeah.
As soon as the ball left his hand, I saw Reek just standing there looking back, and I stood up and I was like, "Reek, interception, let's fucking go." And then he just didn't move. He just stayed there.
Yeah, he continued to stand there.
So, but what was wild was Robinson still floated towards Reek. It's not like he made a great adjustment, came back. So it's like none of them really did anything. And then they fought for the ball, and Robinson won. But it was just you could even see the Rams sideline what was that naked gun where they're all just hitting themselves in the forehead
when the ball's in the air.
Yeah, just fuck. Because at that point we get that. Right, we go kick the field goal.
Turn from
over,
a no to a yes.
To holy shit, yes, yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, it seemed like the receiver saw him just standing there too, and then cut in front of him and caught the ball.
But he didn't cut in front of him. He still floated back this way.
Reek was floating back.
They just stayed there.
Backward. Go to the ball.
Come back.
Go get the ball.
Baby, come back.
Go get the ball, man. Go get the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attack.
And but then also the game winner, which do we give credit where credit is due? Because I mean, if you're just an NFL football fan, you're not a Seahawks fan, and you're watching that game, that was one of the nicest throws and catches probably of the day. But I want to vomit thinking about it right now.
Boot from the fucking suite, bro.
Fine. So did Stafford, and he threw that thing and turned his back before it was caught. I mean, it was old man Stafford with the dime on that one. But fuck him and fuck the Rams. It pissed me off.
That's the more the attitude I want to hear.
Well,
I just thought in that situation, I go, it's second down, and everybody's expecting the run, and McVay knows that. And I go, here comes a play-action boot. And he's going to have one deep and one short, and then worst case, he'll throw it out of bounds or whatever, and then they'll run them on the next play. because they're just trying to set up for 3, right?
What'd you see from Reek on that one?
Chasing. Like, had
Yeah.
to catch up, caught up because he's got great speed, but, so I didn't even see what Robinson did. I just know he went deep and made a hell of a catch.
Well, he only had one hand because Reek was holding the other one.
Yeah.
He still
So,
got
like,
the ball.
Probably could have even been flagged there.
Probably should have been PI, yeah.
And so I don't know. It's just, fuck.
Man,
It went south quick.
that was tough.
And, like, I'm talking like we were just, like, riding the high and then just,
Well, we're not riding a high going into the bye week.
no.
We're in a valley.
Yeah.
How do they pull themselves out of this one going into the bye and looking towards, what is it, the Niners in a couple weeks with Christian McCaffrey probably coming in fresh off this injury here?
He got 2 injuries.
Well, I'm just saying, man. I mean, wouldn't it just be our luck that that's the week that he comes back?
Oh, of course.
And we know
of
what
course,
he can
you
do.
know it's going to happen.
Yeah, of
Right?
course.
There's
Of
no
course.
plot twist here, ladies and gentlemen.
So
this always happens to us.
is it all doom and gloom going into this bye?
No, not at all. I mean, we gave this away. And, this isn't the conversation we're having in the locker room. We're like, hey, we got to clean some shit up, boys. Like, it's got to start with just even operationally the penalties. So, like, false starts. Had a couple of those. Illegal procedure. But there has to be some accountability from the players in terms of, like, the holding penalties. It's like, all right, look, we get back to the fucking fundamentals. You don't block with your hands. You don't cover with your hands. Cover with your feet. You block with your feet. Get in position so you're not reaching and grabbing and falling and bringing someone to the ground. And that's not just on the players. That's also on the individual period. Like, this is why us as players hated individual, but it's necessary. Like, you got to go back to the basics and clean it up, right? And then operationally, like we just talked about, coming out of, like, timeouts and getting delayed games, like that can't happen.
Oh, man.
Like, even Sharps, just not. He wasn't in the moment for the handoff that Geno took off, and then he wasn't in the moment. Supposed to be out there on punt.
Yeah.
And you could see the frustration on his own face when, like, delay a game. And that's another procedure thing, right? So operationally, go back to the drawing board. Hey, like, this is the standard operating procedure for. We'll wait to coach up everything else when they get back to the bench, but their minds must be in the moment. Like, oh, all right, well, I fucked that up. I gotta get on punt team. We'll correct everything else when we get to the sideline.
What'd you used to do during the bye week?
Nothing.
Nothing? Try to relax?
You get a workout or two in, but
Yeah.
it's a long ass season. Now they got an extra week, 17, and they also have an extra playoff team, right? It's like, fuck.
So, would it be unpopular if I was coach? I shouldn't have him in the building tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. running up the hill or anything like that after this one, right?
Oh no, we got work to do.
What?
No, yeah,
what are we gonna do?
No, we're gonna get together and
What's-
we're gonna
yeah.
watch this shit show.
Because I'm telling you, like, if I was a coach at this point of the season, I'd be like, guys, I've tried everything. I've tried being strict. I've tried finding you
tried
guys.
being nice.
I've tried to be nice. I've tried, giving you your flowers. I've tried, man. Like, what
Tough love.
where do we go from here?
I don't know. I remember what season was it? I look back now, it's funny. It was not funny at the time. And Homer's, if he sees me, he's probably going to kill me when I tell this for telling this story. But we had like 3 games before the bye. And like, no one's thinking ahead. But we were actually kind of like up one week and down the other. Like it was like a roller coaster, kind of like what we're experiencing now. And so he's like, all right, I don't give a shit what happened. You win these 3 games, you get the week off. Fucking team went, let's fucking kill these guys. We're going to kill them all. And we did physically. But I don't know if we were all there mentally. Some penalties crept in because maybe we were just a little too excited. So, he was upset. We're all upset. And then we go to the second week and he's like, all right, deal's still on the table. And we're like, okay, we get up again. We're like, we're going to fucking do it again. And we lose.
Ugh.
A heartbreaker. So it was either that, a third week, but he said deal's on the table. But then after that game, I think it was 2 weeks, after that game, we all come in the locker room and it's like, he doesn't know what to say. He's the kind of what you're saying right now. Like, and so he just like looks at us. He goes, "I don't want to see any of you. You still got the week off because I just don't want to see you. So get out of my face." And we righted the ship after. I think everybody had a little time to reflect. And do their part. And but this is valuable time. Not to like work, but like self-scout. Go back, look at what do we do well. What is our identity, and what do we want this to be going forward? And I think that is exactly what they're going to do. And then even just have some operational, like, management. Like, hey, this is the process for every out of a timeout. There's enough time to talk about. We should not be wasting time getting a delay a game.
Yeah.
Or a procedure penalty.
Yeah. Yeah. If the All Day family wants to show off their identity as the All Day family, they can go to alldaybrand.co and buy some of this sweet merch and help support the pod. I'm rocking it's a parody of a local restaurant.
We call it the drive-in.
Maybe you recognize it.
The drive-in parody T-shirt. You guys can go check that out.
I've been there. They got good burgers.
There's tons of designs. It's alldaybrand.co. Go over there and use. I think it gives you a promo code right when you sign in.
Off.
Yeah, 15%
Get
off,
up in
man.
there.
Go get your stuff. Support the pod. Show off the All Day brand at the stadium. I told you, if I see you at the stadium in All Day gear, I will buy you something from the concession stand on the spot. No lobster though. Is there a lobster stand? I don't think so. There's a crab shack at the Mariner game, right? Yeah, not at Lumen though. I don't think. What's the most expensive item from the concession stand at Lumen Field? From any of them, you think? Huh? I'm gonna need you to look it up though. We need a positive ID on this thing. Yeah. Anyway, if you're wearing All Day gear out there, I'll hook you up. So go over to alldaybrand.co, get your gear. Speaking of the All Day family, it's time to hear from them. Open it up to the Q&A. Producer Katie is here to read your questions for as long as you want to put them in tonight. And also, let's try to break a viewership record. Send this link to your friends, to your family, to your coworkers. Tell them it's Q&A time. And if they've got questions for Lofa and Brett, they got to jump on and ask them right now. Producer Katie, what do you got?
Adam the Island Son. I've been Geno's biggest supporter for years, but we should have been up 3 scores. He lost this game throwing picks in the red zone on first down. I'm done.
Okay, well, I would ask, you're done with the team, you're done with Geno, you're done with your question. Is that a way of putting in a period? Either way, I like it. Geno he's almost downright dejected after this one, or at least that's how he started off his presser. Did you see it? He put the blame squarely on himself, like any good leader should. Yeah. He said that he felt like he not only let the team down or whatever, but that he let the fans down, he let the city down. He was basically saying he felt like he had let everybody down. So he's taking the responsibility. I hope he can bounce back from this one, but this is going to be one where the Geno naysayers, I think, are going to come back out of the woodwork.
Oh, for sure they are. It was a rough game. And I'd just like to go back to facts. The first interception bounced straight up, right? Whose fault is that on? I don't know, but it went straight up. Hits your hands, you got to catch it, all right? I think any good receiver, and JSN's a great receiver, would take credit or blame for that. Second one, I think he'll take credit. Geno will say that.
Yeah, that one was pretty ugly.
And then the third one, actually, Josiah, family member over here of All Day, he had a video, and Braden Fisk just like clotheslined the shit out of Barner on that last one. And the ball, if he wasn't held, because it was a blatant holding call, the ball would have been right in his hands, and it just went right by him to the defense. Right? So, but as I said, Geno takes the blame for it, but it was a rough game, right? The sacks, like, they're not all going to be on the offensive line. Some of them are going to be because he's holding the ball too long. I did like when he took off a couple times, hey, nobody's open. I've seen this picture before too many times. Fuck it, I'm out. But yeah, I wouldn't say be done with it though.
Well, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Who are you done with?
I think it's Geno.
What about in overtime, though? I mean, they're on a drive. They get the ball down there, and then it's play calling. They take the ball out of Geno's hands, basically, and run it twice there, right? A third down, 4 times?
Yeah, well, because we got 6 or 7, and then we got
a
hard run by.
It
Geno.
was a
And
hard
then
run, yeah.
We got another 2 or 3 to get it to 3rd and 1. So you're at 3rd and 1, 4th and 1.
3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, and you knew they were going on 4th, but I mean, and look, if you're going to be a winning football team, you got to figure out a way to pick up half a yard, especially on back-to-back plays. But what about the decision to go for it on 4th, and then what about the play calling there?
Yeah, I can't remember how much time, maybe 6 or 7 minutes when they got the ball back, right? Because there's only 10 minutes. And so, do you kick the field goal and then you kick it off? Yeah, they got to score a touchdown, right? But I don't know, man. I like the call to go for it.
I like the call to go for it too, but
I actually wouldn't. I was in the suite. I was like, yo, fuck overtime. Let's go for 2.
yeah,
Like,
after we scored to tie
Yeah.
it, right?
like if you're that's all I thought. And so I like the decision to go for it. The play call, it's like, okay, you tried it once and like got stuff. It's like, do you just go after it again, or I don't know.
I don't like it going east and
Yeah.
west. We got to go
No,
north
go-
and south. As
1
soon as
yard,
it
right?
started to go a little bit to the left, we're sunk here.
I mean, the tush push. Like, can we see that or something? Or
Yeah, why not a QB sneak on
What?
any of these short yardage situations?
Right.
The Seahawks just don't really do that. We never did it with Russell.
yeah.
We don't really do it with Geno. And this is a different staff altogether.
Yeah. And, the advantage you have when you go QB sneak, a lot of them go on either first sound or silent snap, which means we get off the ball before them. Because if they know the cadence, that's their advantage when they fire off. But from there, you could go hard count, Brett. Just like, hey, let's just go hard count and get one of them's got to jump.
He got him to jump a couple times through the game.
And
One of them, they didn't let go another one
they blew-
again.
they blew it dead.
blew it dead again. I know,
Yeah.
in the first quarter. We talked about that before. This referee, by the way, he loved the explanations and the camera time. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah.
This guy loved being on camera today.
Yeah.
He loved to explain the overtime rules. He told us all everything that was going to happen. Did you hear it? He was like, "This is regular season overtime rules." He even said, and should the team who wins the toss happen to hold the ball for 10 minutes without scoring. Did you hear him say that? He goes, "The game is over if this happens, if this happens, if this happens, and in the rare occasion that the team will just hold the ball for 10 minutes."
He's been practicing. It was his time to shine.
Oh man.
Wait, but speaking of penalties, no, season.
We're the
Number
most
one.
penalized team.
We were 5 just 2 weeks ago. We are now the sole leader in
Yuck.
penalties against. If you're gonna do it all day.
Not good. Next comment question. Next.
Oh, you said you were done, Adam.
Grub's gotta go. I call it better offense in Madden.
Oh, he says Grubb's got to go. He says he
said
calls a
he's
better
saying play
offense
calling.
in Madden. What about that?
I like it. First, I got to see your record in Madden, like in franchise mode. What are we talking? But I can't put this one on Grubbs. Like some of the penalties, it's yeah. I don't know, man.
It's more on the execution.
Absolutely.
I think it is too. I think I don't know. Oh man, it's hard to say because what the hell do I know? But what I see is just the offensive line not getting it done like we talked about, not opening up the holes for K9 to run through. He's doing all that he can. It's not necessarily the play call in the moment. It's the execution of the play that is called.
Yeah.
And
even
we got the guys to get it done.
well, he's even on one of the sacks. He provided a chip, and it was not a tough play for Sharps. He just whiffed. Cross, kick step, stays inside. Got Jerry Verse coming. Jerry Verse beats a double team, but Cross is expecting him to push outside and get a hit back inside. So you have to sit heavy inside, and he just splits them. And, like, he's expecting help right there. This is your time to, like, go for those ribs. I'm not saying, okay, I'm not saying, like,
That is
anything
sensitive.
dirty.
Yeah.
But this is, like, what DNs, this will slow DNs down. They get cracked in the ribs. It's not fair that they can do this to a defender, but you're never defenseless as a defender.
No, not ever. There's a defenseless receiver. Yeah. I'm sure you feel real bad for those defenseless receivers. What makes a defenseless receiver and a non-defenseless receiver?
Does he have time to make a football move? What's a football move?
Aren't they all football moves?
I mean, fuck.
Yeah, you got me.
We should call our boy up. He'll explain it.
The ref from today?
In thorough
Yeah,
description.
he'll give you full details. Go ahead, Katie.
Aiden Espinoza, Seahawks fans didn't deserve that. Sitting around just to watch them fail again. Refs were horrid. Offensive line horrid. Geno was off. Just embarrassing.
I can't go embarrassing. I respect the hell out of your opinion and comment, Aiden. I can't go embarrassing. We were in it. Literally forced overtime.
But we're in it with the team that's in last place in the division.
Okay, first of all, all of us.
And now
are,
that's us.
Yeah, we're still what? A game, 2 games back. It's not like anyone's running away with this fucking division. I don't know if you looked at the standings. So that's kind of like the silver lining I was going to save, but I might as well just save everybody that's freaking out right now. Like, everybody else is 500. Like, let's not act like this is either the best division or it's the worst division. And we're going to find out very shortly which it is. I have a fear this might be 2010 NFC West that I played in.
I'm just laughing because I knew on the ride over here, I thought, and I'm going to say they're now in last place. And I know what Lofa's going to say is yeah, but only by like half a game. What is this division right now, man? The parity. Wow.
The wild, wild west. I'll say that much.
It for sure is, man. Yikes. Go
John
ahead, Katie.
Smith, Geno had an off day, but unfortunately, this team doesn't have the talent to make up for that.
What?
They learn this year, and we build better next.
Whoa.
Okay. Well, Jonathan, I love you, but right off the bat, I think this team has more than enough talent.
Wait, pause. He corrects himself in a comment later on. He says, sorry, my first super should have been not enough. So it says this, unfortunately, this
Doesn't have enough. Okay.
team does not have enough to make up for that.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So wait, am I not supposed to argue with him?
No, you can't. I mean, we can. It depends on your perspective.
Well, this team has a ton of talent on it. DK is not on the field right now, but other than that, I mean, you've got JSN, Tyler Lockett, K9 on defense, Reek Woolen, Witherspoon, Julian Love. Yeah. There's a lot of talented players on this team. They're just not able to put it together all at the same time, seemingly, or like all 3 phases for one whole game. Like, oh man, the Atlanta Falcons game. Mm-hmm. It's the cleanest game all year. Obviously, it's our best game of the year. I'm trying to think. Yeah. Man, there was really nothing to complain about after that game, was there?
I don't know. Like and the Broncos, they're not as bad as everybody says they are, right? You know, right?
Right.
They're winning games. They went on a 3-game winning streak after we beat the hell out of them. And I'm just saying, like, we had so much adversity in that first half. And Mike McDowell's first ever at the helm, like 2 safeties, interception inside the red zone.
Yeah.
We just kept answering the call, kept coming back.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you can't say we don't have talent. Or our execution was just phenomenal. So what were we doing then that's changed? There have been pieces that have changed in and out of the lineup. Chemistry is a real thing. Trusting a guy to be where he's supposed to be, right? And, like, there was one play that was absolutely fucking wild to me. I've never seen 2 guys wide open on the same side of the field. The shallow and the deep over. I was like, oh, God. And
wait, when was this?
Stafford completed a shallow going towards the players' locker rooms, towards the Rams sideline. There was a shallow and there was a deep over. And all I saw was a deep over because I was like, if he throws it to him, it's a touchdown. There was nobody over there. He threw it to the shallow, and I was like, thank God. And then I still looked, and I was like, oh, shit, still no one's over there. Like, this is like 3 seconds later. Like,
Yeah.
and we obviously were not in man coverage because someone would have been trailing. Even if they're getting beat bad, someone would have been
They'd be
trailing.
running with them.
Either one of those guys.
Right.
So it's just like, yo, where is everybody? And so are we doing too much?
Well,
Right? so
then we got to now talk about the scheme on
That's what I'm
defense
saying,
too.
yeah.
So I mean, it's defense and offense. Are they both too complicated?
Yeah, I'm telling you, there is beauty and simplicity. Like, even when Pete first got here, we were all fucked up. We had so many different defensive calls. The 7 and 9 year, we weren't that bad of a roster, and it was an easy division to win, and we won it with a losing record because we had until we got Marshawn, we didn't have any identity offense, right? And then even then, we were asking him to do. He was a power. He could run power or zone. Most guys are like one or the other, and he could do both. Him, Clinton Porter, there's a couple special guys like that. But now our offense finally got a identity, right? And he actually kept us off the field, which wasn't happening before Marshawn got there. But on defense, we had like 4 or 5 base defenses, and then a lot of variations and different ways to play it off of that. It only takes one guy to mess up, and like it is just a shit show. And so it's like, okay, if you literally just played the same defense and they know you're in it, but everybody knows their job, prove that you can out-execute us. And when he got the Legion of Boom, now this is what you have a pass rush and you got guys like him, Bobby, KJ, and then the Legion of Boom behind him. You don't have time to, even if you know you're in cover 3, where's it coming from? Someone's going to hit me very hard. That's what the quarterback's thinking. When that clock speeds up, it's a whole different ball game. But all they ran was cover 3. When they wanted to get really fancy in the red zone, they ran cover 2.
Yeah.
But like there was no
It just
magic
seems
to
like
it.
when we're out there on defense, like they'll complete, their other team will complete something, and we got one guy coming up, and if that guy makes the tackle, everything's kind of all good. But if that guy misses, it's like there's no one there for a bit.
The swarm has not been there.
No, it's not. It used to be a catch was made or a guy gets outside and there's 3 or 4 guys there.
They're
instantly.
racing to get there
Right.
to beat. They're
Right.
competing to beat each other to the ball. And
Yeah.
you're right.
A lot of one-on-one tackling drills out there.
And one tackle leads to like 8 more yards, right?
Yeah.
One missed tackle.
One
something like
missed
that.
tackle. Yeah.
But this is the analytics team. They'll go back and review and everything. And this is the time for serious, like, look in the mirror, like, what do we do best? What do we need to fix?
Is it the thing where maybe McDonald comes in as a young coach and he's like, okay, I got this and I got this and I got that and I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to do this, and it might just be like we're saying, like just whoa, like just slow down too much. Like let's focus one thing at a time. Let's stop this week and then we'll work on this other stuff as we go along. I mean, I just think it's like it's just a case of almost like being too excited.
It could be. And that's
the
what I was
opportunity.
just talking about. And like, I don't think it's a youth thing or him being like at first time. I think when you're hired as the latest head coach, that late, and was he hired a week before combine or 2 weeks? Like, right? We did so many interviews, right? And then now you got to scramble, put a staff together, right? And a lot of these guys have never worked together, the coaches, so they're figuring out how everything's going to go, and there's a lot that goes into that, and generally the second time around, like if you get 2 opportunities, goes a lot better. Dan Quinn, right? He took Atlanta to the Super Bowl, and then a couple years later, the team started to age. They lost a couple key pieces, right? Got fired, became a defensive coordinator, and then now he's got his new chance. And this is a team that wasn't like a great opportunity for, like, there wasn't a lot of guys like, I want that job, because Washington's always been kind of in chaos. But they got new ownership, right? And I think they've kind of handed him the keys, which I really feel like a good owner. It's like, hey, you're a football guy. Do the football shit. Just win games, man.
Yeah, right.
Win games.
Yeah, except that this is McDonald's first go round. Like we got to get it done right now. They're not a good football team right now, to be flat honest. They're not, and they know that too.
Other than Buffalo, we're in every game. I can't say they're not a good football team. There's signs there that say we are. I mean, our record says we're still in this. But I'm saying the way we're losing is unfortunate, right? We do have to learn and grow from all these things, or without a key piece, a guy who was leading the league in receiving yards. That'll change your offense.
True.
And then not a consistent running game. So, like I said, we got to get creative. We got to figure some shit out. Like, we can't do what we've been doing and expect different results.
It's just so frustrating. It feels like that at least 2 of these losses are just wins that are right there.
Absolutely.
You know, that just
it's hard.
Couple decisions, one way or the other.
In the NFL,
Of course it is.
I'm just going to tell you, like, you're grateful for. I don't care how you win it, as long as you win. It's fucking hard.
Man, we got that extra point blocked, and I just thought that's gonna come back to find us.
Yeah.
And there it was. You know, I mean, he didn't miss it. He got it blocked.
Yeah,
it got blocked. Yeah.
So, but operationally, what did I tell you? There's some things, right?
Yeah.
That's just like with the snap. Like what?
Jonathan Smith's jumping back in. Go for it, Katie.
Never played, and I don't have the physical ability, so take salt with my words. It
I like
feels
salt.
like there's not. It feels like there's enough talent, discipline, or coaching experience to match their level of competition. I hope it improves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Discipline. Yeah. I don't know. Coaching experience. I mean, it's hard to say, right? Because the decisions happen fast. They happen in the moment. You got to be decisive. I feel like he's being aggressive and decisive in times where he wants to go for it. It feels like the right decision. It just doesn't feel like they're getting it done once that decision is made, and that's the players on the field.
Yeah, I don't know. With what he's saying, are we the most physical team? Sometimes.
Yeah.
It's inconsistent.
No,
right?
not really.
It's inconsistent.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're really up for it. Atlanta, we came out just ready to fucking kill everybody.
I'm just trying to think of like decisions, like even this one to go for it at the end. I'm trying to think of coaching decisions throughout the year that have made me have left me scratching my head. It's not the decisions that have left me scratching my head. It's the result of the decisions.
Well, a decision that scratched my head, I don't know how much we pressured. I have to go back. This was the stuff I have to go back and look. But, like, when we sent that heat up the gut, like, Stafford saw it.
He was running for his life a couple times.
And he's 40.
Yeah.
Like, make him run.
Yeah.
Like, don't come from the outside.
Dude, he's looking old.
Let him see.
I got to go.
The heat. Stare down the barrel.
2 weeks in a row, sideline passes. Just
flex.
Let him know.
Let him know, kid. Let him know.
Flex it. It was really awesome. Thank you to everybody out there. What was my point? Oh,
I didn't
Stafford.
say that,
Stafford. I saw Stafford up close. A lot of gray in the beard.
Yeah.
Old man Stafford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still got a cannon, though.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Great touch.
rocket arm. Yeah. A little taller in
like
person,
that sort
too,
of
than I
thing.
thought
Yeah,
he
he
was.
is.
He's a big dude.
Big dude.
Yeah. Big dude. Salt and pepper in the beard. The wily vet.
Yeah.
Figuring out how to get a win.
But, yeah.
Punk.
To that last question, the point, though, yeah, like discipline. Discipline. Like, to just outlast people, not just physically. It's a battle of, mental capability and staying in the moment. And, like, if you keep getting penalties, you're either overthinking or you're lazy, right? Like, these are telltales. I bet you if we took it out, you'll see a trend of who's getting penalties and what penalties are getting. And, like, that's where there's going to be a conversation about how do we fix this?
We were talking about this before we went on the air, actually. It's a great question. Penalties, is it on the players or is it on the coaching?
And you either teaching or you're tolerating it. Right?
From a coaching standpoint.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Like, you are either you don't care, right? You're tolerating it, or, like, you're fine with what you're seeing and what's happening.
Well, I can't imagine that they walk into the meeting rooms and that the coaches don't mention the penalties and that we got to get less of them.
Yeah, but this is part of coaching, right? How do we cut that shit out?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the procedure penalties. All right, hey. Like, because even sitting there in the stance, you want to sit in a stance for 30 seconds? So you can just
Not really.
see how long your little legs can hold up. Like, and you're sitting there and you're seeing everything going on, and then defenders can move and flinch from the second level. So you're like, oh shit, here comes the blitz. Like, I have to be ready. Like, and now you got to go through all that mind process. And then you jump, which Jarrell did, right? I think he had 1 or 2 false starts. So we're either at the line, trying to get to the perfect play, and this is what we saw when Andy Dalton came here and he was trying, and the 12s. It's the last time I heard it that loud, right?
Yeah.
When the 12s got all those false starts against Carolina because he kept trying to switch to the perfect play. And there is no perfect play. Just out-execute them.
You guys, what would you give to go back to week 3 Carolina right now? Weren't those good times? Man, after that one, we should go back and look up the footage from that podcast. 3-0. Woo. Good times back then. What's next here from the chat? What do we got?
Espinoza. Defense promising, offense demoralizing. Flags. Crying.
Yeah. Yeah, the defense, they look like they found something, but the offense left something to be desired.
I will
there.
say this.
I mean, they scored 26 points, or sorry, 20
20.
points. They scored 26. We scored 20.
But Geno, even as horrible as that fucking game was, and
Yeah.
he was the first to stand up there at the podium and tell you and take blame for the loss, right? What did he do when he had to? Drove him down there and just threw one of the prettiest passes the JSN I've ever seen. Between 2 defenders, and whole place was going nuts.
Yeah.
And when we got the ball, we're moving. So I was like, okay, this is who Geno is. This is what he does, right? And so all would have been forgiven, right? Had we just get the first down, keep things going, and come away with the win. But, yeah, you have to learn to finish, like, as a team. Like, fucking close games. Like, and it's first-time head coach, and it's a process. It's part of the process. But you get those little things cleaned up, like even just half of the penalties or 1 less turnover, we win this game easily.
How about half a yard?
That too.
Where's the analytics people on the short yardage situations, and how can we get this thing figured out? Because
Actually,
I feel like when I was younger and the shoulder pads were bigger and guys were wearing neck rolls, a 3rd and 1 was like almost automatic. Was that just Max Strong?
Yeah. I was just going to
Is
say
that
it
what
was
that
probably
was?
Max Strong.
Number 38?
And 2 Hall of Famers, a Pro Bowl center. And like, but
Man, those were good times.
hey, so games won in the trenches.
Yeah.
And Johnny Langston said, I think we're surprisingly very good, like probably 70% in 3rd and short situations. 3rd and long, opposite. But what's weird is when we were playing, I think it was my rookie or second year, it was like 2 or 3 years, anything 3rd and 3 or less, I bet you we were like 80% punt, which is surprising, right? Anything 3rd and 6 to 10 plus, it was like 70% we were getting. So like it would be 3rd and 10, and most people saying punt team, get ready, and like we were like, nah, they got this. And then you just see a fucking dig route, like, or I was just like, we knew it. But it's wild how I don't know how we were so good, in that situation and so bad with just 2 or 3 yards. The 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1 haunted us in the fucking Chicago 06 playoffs.
In 06, yeah. Oh, that was
It was like
the year
4
after.
or 5. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my God.
All right. Well, I don't know. Maybe it goes in waves. It comes and goes.
Well,
Seems like it's kind of
tell the analytics guys to figure that out for us.
I know.
Right?
They should figure it out. What should you run on a 3rd and 1? What should you run on a 4th and 1?
3rd and 1.
Yeah.
I run the ball. 4th and 1. I was calling for a boot. I go motion the tight end across, and then like, I was like, motion. Even if they just move an inch, they're thinking differently. And then we go the other way with the boot, which is kind of what they did to us. And I called that one too.
Yeah, it feels like Geno's fast enough to fake that and get around the end sometimes.
Yeah, a naked bootleg.
Yeah.
Wow, I haven't seen that
Surprise
in years.
everybody.
Who was the last one that did that? Alex Smith did that to us at home in 06. Ew. Ew. Brother, ew.
Ew, gross. What else we got?
Sweet feet Forsyth. I'm done letting this team disappoint this year.
Yeah,
This
right.
line is bad 70% of the time. Why go for it when they suck so bad? Take the points and let the defense go out. Defense gave up after that 4th and 1.
It's not a bad point. I mean,
Which one?
take the points.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I was up there like, yes, let's go for it. And, probably should have taken the field. But it's not automatic. We got one blocked, right?
Are you guys being honest that when they went out there for the 4th and 1, you knew they were going to go for the 4th and 1. Everybody knew they were going to go for the 4th and 1. I don't think a lot of people were yelling, "Oh, let's just kick a field goal." It's after they don't make the 4th and 1 that everybody wants to kick the field goal.
Well, you know what's crazy is like everyone's going nuts, and I was like, "No, get down. We need to hear."
Yeah, right.
Opposite.
Right.
Like this is not the time to get loud.
Right.
We needed you for the last 3 hours.
The way the defense had been playing, going for it on 4th and 1 there, where were we on the field at that point? We were close to our 20-ish yard line.
30-ish.
30-ish?
We weren't in the red zone.
McNeil, where
Someone's
were
gotta
we?
know, yeah.
We were 21, 22?
Were we that? No way.
Something like that, yeah. We were pretty close. I mean, the defense had been playing great. If you don't get it there, you figure your defense is going to go out and shut them down again.
Yeah.
They didn't, obviously. Hindsight is 2020, but I feel like if your team can't get half a yard on 2 plays, what are we doing anyway? And so I feel like it's a statement type thing, and unfortunately, it didn't work out. We made a statement the other way.
Neither of my teams got half a yard.
USC mentioned again.
It was like
Question of the night: what has you the most frustrated? What's got you most frustrated out there, everybody? Is it your offensive line? Is it your defensive backfield? Is it Reek Woolen?
There's the penalties for me.
Penalties, yeah.
I think it's probably a lot the way.
Ugh, penalties.
When I came to the league, how I was coached and learned to play the game, with Homery.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were adamant. Like, you do not get penalties around here.
I feel like Lumen has a almost too noticeable graphic package that happens if there's a flag. It's like the whole, it's the wraparound scoreboards all show it. The main scoreboard shows a nice thing. It's too presentational for the referees.
No.
We should not give them.
Maybe your boy asked for it.
I mean,
It's too ceremonial every time they throw a flag. We need to not make a big deal out of the flags.
no, but you're right. But it's also like every time a big play happened, the 2 pass that called back, everyone's high-fiving, and then we turn around to see a flag, and we're like, no way.
That's the NFL now. I feel
has
like
to be.
it's just like you're always looking for a flag or you're always looking for the replay.
Right, what'd you say the Rams are, penalty-wise? 4th best? 6th best?
6th
And
lowest.
they ended up with 8.
Yeah. Oh.
So, like,
So maybe this guy does just like camera time.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Aiden Espinoza agrees. He says it's getting really hard to watch football. #refs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we can't, let the ref decide it, right? That's part of the discipline and everything we're talking about. But Aiden's right. It's like, yeah, at what point do we take ownership, either as coaches or players, as a team together, and just say, all right, enough of the bullshit, boys. Like, start pulling guys.
Yeah. Well, delay of games, things like that. The procedural type ones that you're talking about,
we
the
both have a hand in
preventable
that.
ones.
We have a hand in that.
The penalties that take place during a play or because of some physicality or whatever, I think those sort of like a basketball foul. If it's a hard play, you're gonna kind of let that one go.
I feel like
if it's the mental ones.
I feel like D Hall got the same penalty he got last week when Stafford double clutched.
Oh, you're talking about the roughing the passer?
And then they happen to hit. This is football.
Yeah.
All right. Like,
Yeah.
are we?
The roughing the passer was pretty weak.
If you don't ever want helmet to helmet, take away the helmets.
Except Stafford, he's got an acting career ahead of him, though, because do you see the way he just laid all sprawled out,
Yeah.
with both arms out to the side?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
he sold it.
yeah,
Just
he
like
sold
Josh
it.
Allen.
Yeah.
Looked like Bernie Koufax.
I'll never play again. Yeah. Yuck.
Yeah.
What's next? Keep the Q&As coming. We'll be here as long as you guys are asking questions. Also, viewers on the rise, you guys are sending the link out there. Send it to your friends. Send it to your uncle. Tell them to jump in here.
Make a Delta Force.
Yeah.
Mega Delta Force says O-line was bad. Tight end not in position for the interceptions, and loss isn't on Geno. JSN is the man. He could be our number 1. Hey, Brett, is it time to predict the Hawks losses? Losses?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
If I want to put this one on me, I could, because I haven't had the guts to pick against them yet. And I almost did this
You
week,
almost
and then I
did.
didn't, and then now they lost. And I thought about it. I thought about putting this loss on myself, but then I thought, no. because I'm not out there blocking on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1. So no, this one's not on me.
Yeah.
I'm not jumping off sides or lining up incorrectly or, not being out there for certain coverages, causing delays of games. This one's not on me, you guys.
I'm a little raspy, though, and you sound like you have a very clear voice. Were you yelling loud enough?
I was screaming. I was jumping up and down. I was teaching my daughter how to stomp her feet or kick the seat in front of her. Once they're standing up.
Yeah,
Everybody's
yeah.
standing up, so it's fair game. Just start kicking the seats. Oh, we were making so much noise.
It was awesome, though. I got to give the 12s credit. Like, it felt like an old-time Seahawks fucking, hey, this is the 12s.
Well, it was interesting because a lot of 12s turned their backs and started walking out, and then a lot of 12s did a U-turn and came right back in as soon as they started going to overtime. And it felt like it was going to be one of those classic Seahawks. A lot of things didn't go our way, but we're going to pull it out here in the end.
Yeah.
And then it didn't happen that way. It's very deflating. Tough, man.
Cole says Anthony Flagford is cheeks. Same with Geno Pitts.
Oh, my God.
So
Cheeks will always make me laugh. So
is cheeks means
ass.
Yeah, I thought so. Anthony Flagford, huh?
What's a new name? We're getting creative. I think our creativity's rubbing off on you guys. So 'cause that made me laugh too. Cheeks will always make me laugh. But, yeah, we got to do something about it. And I'm not ready to give up on Geno. This was a stinker. Got to give him credit for pushing us into overtime. And he still has the most comebacks in the last 3 years, which is ironic.
Silver linings on the offensive line could be Abe Lucas could be back after the bye, after the extra rest. He's already been working out.
Fant was in for a quarter and then already back out, right?
I didn't.
Yeah, and then Jarrell went back in for end of first
Oh,
quarter.
Jarrell did go back in.
So it's
yeah.
You tweak that.
We don't know. I don't know what happened with Fant. Then we should look.
Yeah, we should look up.
McNeil, you want to look what happened with Fant? But Lucas, he should be coming back, and if Fant can get
Can
some
you just
rest
say it?
through the bye,
Oh my God, I can't hear him.
just start yelling.
Yeah,
Just
what?
yell.
Oh,
Knee and ankle.
Ooh.
All right. Okay.
Shit.
We'll have to monitor that one. Back to the injury report.
That's
everybody.
2 injuries, man.
Man. Got to get these guys healthy. Go ahead, Katie.
But wait. Oh, good.
Oh, sorry.
Isaac, 12 for life, Lipnick. Geno haters, go fuck yourselves. Sat in the stands hearing people blame everything on him. He had a terrible game, yes. You think Howell or a rookie quarterback is going to be better behind this O-line? Build the trenches, Schneider.
Okay, first of all, I love that Katie just fills it in and doesn't say GFYs,
Yeah.
because we've had a debate about that. Do you do the letters? Do you just fill it in?
Well, you say it sometimes, and other times you don't.
Yeah, I know.
So it's confusing to me.
Clearly, she's just going for it, which I love it. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. The game's won in the trenches. And so all I'm saying is, okay, if we're having a problem with the snap, and Connor's coming off an injury, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt there because I think he had a Pro Bowl with Miami, right? He's a damn good center. But is he healthy? I know he's tough, for going out there even if he's not. Yeah, you get cleared. It doesn't mean you're healthy, right?
But what has health got to do with snapping the ball? Unless it's in that actual hand.
If anything is off in this chain of command, his hip's a little tighter because ACL and his quad's not. It's atrophied and it's not, as strong as it used to be. Now your gait's a little off when you're snapping or your stance. It could lead to overcompensating with the upper body or anything. I'm just saying, it's not an excuse. These are fucking real things.
Okay.
But why not try Olu? Just saying.
Try anything.
We'll just, try somebody else for a quarter or two.
If I could speak to the Geno haters real quick directly, or the people who want to move on, or like he was saying, you heard people in the stadium yelling about Geno, about everything. Because I heard the same thing. I mean, I was in there. I heard a lot of comments. I heard a lot of people yelling. Yeah. I almost think that means he's more our quarterback than he's ever been, actually. Because they're almost, what I mean is like, guys, There's no one after him on this team, in my opinion, right now. Like, who do you want to move on to? I don't think there is anyone to move on to. And I think Geno is the guy. We think he's the guy. We know he can be the guy. And I almost think, like, the way people were yelling at him, like, come on, Geno, you can do better. Like, he's our guy. They're riding with him. They have to ride with him. There's no other choice. We just want him to play better than he was in that moment. And I think it's okay for people to say that.
Yeah, I mean,
But I didn't hear people yelling for him to be benched. I more heard people just wanting him to, play better. But I didn't hear anyone full out calling for Howell from the stands. Is what I mean. Did you
find out where Geno is
didn't.
amongst quarterbacks and highest paid, please?
Okay.
Get to the bottom of this right now.
Why? What's that got to do with it?
Well, I could see if he's getting 100 million, like 150 plus million, like a lot of these guys. Yeah, it's all on you. But he's not being paid like that. Is he being paid well? Yes. But he's arguably one of the top 3-5 quarterbacks in the league. And he's not paid like that. So why is all the blame going on him? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, like I'm saying though, I just heard blame going moment to moment, play to play, which is fair enough. I'm saying I didn't hear like the full on give him the hook basically.
Yeah, like, cut him.
So I almost heard people yelling and complaining like he's our guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He had a bad game.
Yeah.
Bionic Giraffe says, please tell my group chat that this is not on Geno. Can't make an accurate throw with no time. Or if the center can't get him the ball.
Yeah. No, this is kind of what I'm saying. It's not all on Geno.
This just in, 19th highest paid quarterback. All right. So just saying.
Okay. Yeah. Valid point.
Like if you're top 5 stat wise, which like he was leading the league until a week ago in passing yards and everything. So wouldn't you think he'd be higher than 19th?
I mean, yeah. Yes.
I mean,
yes. To answer your question, yes.
This is an analytical question.
Yes. Yes.
The numbers point to yes. Okay.
I was also just reliving the 3 interceptions in my head, and the one we talked about to JSN, high and outside JSN, he should catch that ball.
Yeah.
The second one was the most egregious that I think he'll tell you he wants back the most, and then the other one, I mean. I don't even know if Geno can see where that defender is. It's almost like he kind of tucked it over,
Yeah, no.
I don't know if 2 of them were on him, but
that was I got the video. Josiah sent me it.
What's next?
Made me want to cry when I saw it.
Who do you got?
Just Fisk holding the shit out of our tight end.
Keenan's here. Go ahead, Katie.
Says there's no reason that we should have lost this game. I genuinely think the only piece that is not in question on this O-line this offseason is Charles Cross.
Yeah, good point. I'd agree with that. We had Charles Cross on the show this week, everybody. You can go find that video on YouTube. Charles Cross is
stud.
Awesome. You notice how we never talked about him this season, really, because you don't need to.
Yeah, they don't get credit.
Steady Eddie out there.
Even when they're doing their job.
Yeah. No, he doesn't.
Only when shit goes sideways.
But
right?
he should get some credit right now. Charles Cross is the man. And yeah, I mean, everybody else has got to step it up. I think, they'll get some help when Abe comes back. Hopefully that's sooner than later. I mean, the Fant injury has got me bummed out. I didn't really see that. So hopefully that's not as bad as it could be. And hopefully they can just have the same group playing together for long enough to get some chemistry and to get them to gel.
I'll show this to them, too.
Lofa showed me the video here that he got sent.
Just a clothesline.
Barner is getting held.
Oh, yeah.
Right across the middle.
And it bent right around.
Yeah. Yeah. That defender is full-blown behind Barner. No, it's all blown out.
It's kind of blurry.
That defender is full-blown behind Barner. It's not as if Geno could see him there.
No, but the hold is blatant.
Yeah.
Like, obvious.
It's one of those reactionary, like, dodgeball interceptions. Like, when your buddy in dodgeball would throw it as hard as he could at you, and somehow you'd end up catching it. You didn't really know how because you saw it at the last second.
Like,
it was out of the corner of your eye. It was instinctual.
Like a helmet catch.
Yeah. You make those catches where, like, you're even surprised that you have the ball?
No, I was a great athlete.
Alina jumps in the chat. Lofa, Brett, the missed kick. The missed freaking kick again. What the hell? Poor man's dunce cap, a.k.a. construction cone, needs to be applied.
Well, it wasn't a missed kick. It was a blocked kick. which to me is different than a missed kick,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, they'll go back and they'll look at get off time, like snap, because that's what I'm more upset that I missed the kick myself. I was like, "What, bad snap?" And like they were like, "No." I was like, "Miss left or
Pushed
right?"
it,
No, blocked. I was just like, "Okay." Like so, but yeah, operationally, they stopwatch all of these snap to hold to down, and they say a certain time is a clean get off and everything, and that's kind of where we're judged at from a line of scrimmage protection standpoint. So
I don't really have a problem with the. I mean, other than the fact that it got blocked and we missed out on the point. I like you're speaking to sort of why it got blocked, but I don't know if that one's on Myers. It's an extra point, so it's not as if he's trying to kick like a low trajectory because it's
Yeah.
one, like a
Distance, yeah.
60-yarder or something. Like it got blocked.
and turned out to be a crucial point.
Yeah. If you guys have been listening for years, you know how much I like going at Myers. So I would take the opportunity. But I don't know if that one was on him. But it came back to bite us in the ass.
Lofa, as a defensive guru, why do you think we went away from blitzing Stafford the second half? Feel like we let him sit there comfortably and rip it.
Yeah, you're right. And I thought, like Mafe coming, just clean up the gut. I was up there with Sean Locklear and some of the offensive linemen, and they literally slid the line that way to protect. And like, that's the last guy that should get through, but it still just came right up the B gap. And then even one of the other ones, we sent the linebackers through the A gap, and Stafford was like, "Oh God," and just fucking throws it away.
Yeah.
But he's older, make him run. And he's still a good athlete. He's still got decent wheels, but just make him uncomfortable, like you're saying. And I don't know why. Like, if it's working, like, make us get out of it. But there was times I saw the safeties even in some of the runs were just kind of like waiting. Like the ball's been handed off. If no one, like you take a quick peek, no receivers like trying to give you the old okey doke and then take off. But like at least close the space. Like let's start coming down.
Well, that has to be sort of instinctual for guys at this level, doesn't it? So if they're not playing instinctual, that would say to me that it is a scheme thing and maybe being too complicated. Guys second guessing before they move.
I mean, it looks very different, right? When you're watching. If it's a run, those helmets are down and firing off. It's very clear. If it's a pass, even if they like fire off for a step, but then they're just like, trying to fake for a flea flicker or something, they're up. Like it's just a total different look and feel, picture wise. And so I don't know, but I was just like, hey man, get in the fight, Maverick.
Well, it just feels like there's something that is barring these guys from playing with that natural instinct because there's no way. I mean, you can't get to the NFL without coming downhill or wanting to attack. And
there's even some where we got a crack replace on the edge, right? So I'm a corner. My guy goes down, and I see the ball in the run. He's coming right at me. Like, go get him. Do not wait.
So why aren't they going?
Well, I mean, there was one or two that turned into a 3-yard gain because we hit him at the line of scrimmage, and still willing, nice hit, like stepped with the near shoulder, near foot. So technically sound, but it's like, go get him. And like hit him in the backfield. And then we fall down for a 1-yard loss rather than a 3-yard gain. Because now you're 2nd and 11 rather than 2nd and 6 or 2nd and 7.
But if you're going to lose 5 out of 6 games, you would feel like this message is getting delivered in the film room or in the meeting rooms the next day, but it's not being received then?
Good point. Good question. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we've been saying the same thing for weeks and weeks and weeks. Attack, go downhill, be the, whatever.
Yeah, get on your
that
terms.
gap, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That has to be being said in the meeting rooms, but it's not coming through then? That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Is there something in the way of letting them just be instinctual?
I don't know, but at the end of the day, you just got to get pissed off. And again, defense had a pretty solid day. Like, literally only gave up, 20 points, right? Because even though it was 26, a touchdown, so 19 points.
19 points.
That was not on them. They weren't even on the field, so you can't blame them. But still just not enough to win.
Yeah.
Like, we need more than one turnover. Like, we
Yeah.
keep losing the turnover battle, man.
Could have had more. Could have had more.
Oh,
Could have had it.
yeah.
We
Missed.
could have had him, Mav. Could have had him. Eaglet Snupper. Go ahead, Katie.
John Snyder says he has a quote from John Snyder. Quote, guys get overdrafted at guard, and in my opinion, they get overpaid. End quote. And that was on March 14th, 2024. Kind of gives you something to think about. Geno played like cheeks, though.
This quote got thrown around Seahawks internet all week long. People were going over this one because, yeah, John Schneider said that guards get overdrafted, and our guard play isn't so great right now.
Yeah.
Is that a place we should have maybe been focused on or spend a little more on? Or
You got for the trenches, you better draft high if you want a big dog on either side, and then you pay him, right? That's just kind of the way it is. Those guys are not just everywhere, not just walking around outside. Like the special ones, like there's Walter Jones drafted high, Hutchinson drafted high, like But I think then maybe other teams see that and they're like, oh, that's the next Walter Jones, and they try to draw the similarities, and it's just not the case. Those are special guys. So I don't know. That's the first time I saw that, though.
that quote?
I didn't know about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because now it's got me thinking about all the guards we drafted.
Or didn't.
Or didn't.
Yeah.
But, like center, that's generally one where, like, even when we drafted Unger, he turned out to be a phenomenal player.
Yeah.
But it was second round.
Right.
And, like, that was, like, not, like, unheard of back then. Like, everybody's like, whoa, center, second round? And then he turned out to be great. He was a dog, right? Super sharp communication. Got everyone lined up. Like, let's go. That's the mic. Here we go. Like, gave the quarterback, like Russ, too, right? Probably my rookie quarterback, very little to think about. Like, no, Russ, we're going this way with the protection. Just trust me. But, yeah, like, I think Tobeck was undrafted. There was a bunch of guys that were tough to play, that were undrafted or 5th, 6th, 7th round picks. And now you're seeing guys, Bama's had a couple that were second round, first round, Notre Dame. So, I don't know.
You blame Schneider for this offensive line and their offensiveness so far?
Well, I mean, it really is on all of us because, John's going in there and asking him, he's like, hey, like, what's your evaluation of this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Or do we need to get somebody else? And so that's on both, manager, coach, staff, sitting there like, do we have what it takes? And, the signing of Connor was kind of confusing to me because Olu went in for 2 or 3 games as a rookie and he looked solid and didn't even get a chance. I think he won the Outland, right? The best lineman in all of college.
Yeah.
Want to give him a chance?
I do.
Oh, right on, bro.
Let's give him a chance.
Yeah.
Let's give him a chance. Eaglet Sniper. Oh, no. We did that one already. There. T-Jack, 79. Go ahead.
I'm sick of all these fair weather fans not understanding the X's and O's and blaming Geno Smith every game. We have one of the worst O-lines in football.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely not on Geno. I mean, Geno, the 3 picks, we went through each pick. Yeah. The second one was the one that I think is the most on him. Other than that, though, 3 TDs, 363.
He had 363.
Yeah.
It's a lot of miles.
It's a lot of yards,
a lot
man.
of miles.
McNeil, our guy McNeil, will be the first one to tell you that Mahomes has more picks. Is that his thing? Is the thing you like to say today?
They could be tied today.
So,
but but I feel for like Jarrell, right? What round was Jarrell? 6th. All right, he played Division II college.
Yeah.
This is a far cry from Division II.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he's being thrown to the wolves, but he's seeing some monsters right now.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine how fast the game's moving for him. And because I'm not going to say they're not super complex at Division II, but I played at 1AA, and it wasn't super complex.
Well, if we're not blaming Geno then, and a lot of the commenters here are saying, oh, let's not blame Geno, let's not blame Geno. Excuse me. Who are we blaming?
I don't play the blame game, all right? So you tell me, like, you know, as a former football player, we didn't say, oh, this is on you, motherfuckers. Like,
Right.
it's on
Right.
all of us.
Yeah.
We all had a hand in this shit show.
Right.
So it's like, you tell me.
I think it is kind of a whole team thing. Yeah. I mean, like we said, they haven't really put a full game together, save for the Atlanta game, where all three phases are really just, all the way clicking. It seems like just mistakes happen throughout the game by different people, whether it's penalties, whether it's, missed tackles, things like that. And they happen at the most inopportune times.
Well,
when they absolutely can't happen is when they happen.
a trend that's alarming to me is that we've been outplayed and outscored in the second half of the last two games. In every other game, other than the Giants, we have fucking kicked the shit out of people in the second half. So that's something to keep an eye on,
That's not good.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to monitor that thing.
Yeah. We've had, I don't want to say bad, but like our offensive line has been a storyline for a long time, no matter who the quarterback was. Mm-hmm. And we've been able to overcome it at times, but this has been a storyline in Seattle for quite some time. Right? Does it feel like Groundhog Day with the offensive line and just the conversation around it?
I feel like the penalties, so I don't know if the refs have gotten worse or what's going on, but I mean, they're not full-time officials. Right?
No, that's true.
But I'm just saying, I remember when I was coaching with Pete, he was like, how do we stop these penalties? I was like, don't play that guy. Right? Give somebody else the opportunity.
We got to do something.
I'll tell you someone that did the most with their opportunity. We haven't. The Cody White. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
The catches, the blocked punt. All right. Got to give special teams some shout-out.
Cody
Right?
White. Yeah, having a day, man.
Had a day.
Yeah.
Big dude. Big, fast dude.
Great catches, great block punt. He also drew the penalty on a PI, which might have been a makeup call. We'll take it, though.
What'd I say, though?
Yeah,
Refs. These refs.
Bad refs go both ways, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll take it. But shout out to Cody White for having a day. What's next here on the old Q&A?
Alina says she's got a movie quote for the O-line.
Oh, no.
We're all in this together. This is a full-blown, 4-alarm holiday emergency here. We're going to press on, and we're going to have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced, and then it's continued. Tap danced with Danny fucking K.
I feel like I know
Do you know
this
that one?
movie. Yeah, what is this movie? It's Vacation. It's Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. National Lampoon's.
Clark.
Yeah.
Clark W. Griswold.
When he didn't get the bonus, right?
You're right. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
We got that
Yeah,
one.
that was a good one, though.
Yeah.
Had me thinking.
Yeah, we got that one.
Keenan says he is most frustrated by Christian Haynes being healthy scratch and Anthony Bradford getting his lunch taken all day. Just had a bad O-line day. Broken record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Healthy scratch feels weird on a team that has so many injuries.
Right.
How do we even have room for a healthy scratch? There's just so many guys who are legitimately
Is
injured.
that possible?
That doesn't seem right to me. Yeah. I don't think we should be healthy scratching guys on the O-line. I feel like if you are an offensive lineman and you are able to suit up and play, you should be on the sideline ready to go so that we can just experiment with whoever we got.
Yeah. Give him a chance.
Right.
Get him in there.
Throw him in there.
See what he's got.
So I agree with you on that one.
That is puzzling. Healthy scratch.
That's
Daniel
strange.
Garcia says the first drive under the center run game was effective.
Oh. Right. Let's get back up there.
We ran an I formation even
I thought it was
at one point.
1995, man.
What the hell was
A
that?
little tear dropped
Yeah?
in my eye.
And how did it go?
I just fucking, at least, when you run from that, they're pinning their ears back on play action.
Yeah?
So it's effective to mess with the defense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and there was, and we were getting up to the second level. That was a thing of beauty. Just annoy those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. Tell them a story. Just piss them off a little bit and make them make a decision. So, K9, has options rather
Yeah.
than just, oh shit, I'm just gonna hold, hide, bounce, and then everything's gonna be bounced because there's nothing inside.
They stuck with it though.
Yeah,
They did stick with it.
yeah, and it may not look like it, but it opened up opportunities in the pass game.
Yeah.
I mean, 363.
Yeah.
It's a lot of yards,
Yeah. It is a lot of yards without your biggest weapon.
right?
Brett Diggs says we need a daily reinforcement for the offensive line like we do for the running backs. When running backs fumble, they have to carry a ball all day. When
Ooh.
the offensive line gets their nose over their toes, they should have to walk around all day bent over.
Love the pun. Hey, I like it.
You like it? Corporal punishment,
We got
sort of.
We got rules. I like it.
Yeah.
Right.
When the running backs fumble, do they really have to walk around with the ball all day? Not in the pros.
On the pros.
In high school, maybe.
Yeah, high school.
Right?
Well, shout out to the program.
See that guy walking through the
Let's
hall?
go give it a punch.
Yeah, that's right.
But give it a punch.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that too on defense, right?
Okay. All right.
I like that one.
Anything we can do to fix it, I'm all for.
Yeah. But I mean, at least it'll get them thinking.
Caesar, hello.
Oh.
I'm not a Geno hater, so all Geno fangirls don't eat me. But man, Geno, what the fuck? Is he a bum today? Yeah, I know our offensive line is bad, but we can't defend him no more.
Can't protect them either. It was a rough one. Yeah. And I've been one of the biggest Geno supporters, but it was bad. And all I can say is he put us in position to go.
Still had a chance to
Still
win
had
the
a
game.
chance.
I mean, still had a chance
So
to win
you're
the
telling
game.
me there's a chance.
And on 3rd and 1, he didn't run the ball. And on 4th and 1,
wish
he
he-
didn't run the ball.
Wish he did.
The one off his back foot in the red zone, the second one, one was bad. That was bad. Nobody can defend that one.
Nightmares about that
But
one.
even the greatest quarterbacks of all time, the most legendary faces of the franchises that have ever lived, have had bad throws and have had bad games.
Oh, yeah.
We still had a chance to win it here at the end.
Yeah.
I'm not putting this one all on Geno or calling him a bum, that's for sure, or calling for the hook.
No. Yeah. What would you do? I want to know.
Yeah.
You putting
Commenters.
Howell in there? What are you
Put on your coach's hat.
Yeah, let me
Here.
know.
Here, you want to borrow my Chuck Knox
That's a
style
nice
coach's hat?
That is a nice
Put it on. What would you guys do? Are you yanking him for Howell right now? Are you looking across the Rams sideline and seeing Jimmy G over there, wishing he was over here with us? Did you know he was a Ram, by
I
the way?
have no idea.
Yeah, I saw him run by I saw somebody running by in a Garoppolo jersey.
Just a big fan.
No, it's him. He's on the roster. I checked. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
But I mean, no, but it raises a good point. What do you do, right? So in terms of creativity, I mentioned inserting the receivers into the run game. We've done the draws and screens, right? Would you go a little more since you're in gun, 99.9% read option, and because I mean do you know even as old as he is, when we did a couple of those, it's been effective, and
he can run.
and he's thrown great blocks. One of them, the K9, he chipped the shit out of
I
that
feel
safety.
like when he takes off and runs, it gets him going a little bit, actually, too. You know?
Yeah.
It gets the
Gets us
juices
going,
flowing.
yeah.
Gets us
I know what
going.
you're saying, yeah.
That's for sure. Somebody in the chat said they're spanking Geno till he does good. I don't know. Is that a coaching method? Are spankings allowed in the NFL?
I'd imagine you probably get your ass kicked if you did that to a player.
Yeah. Brett Diggs back in here again. Go ahead, Katie.
How far are we fallen from the days of Holmgren, where we now don't prioritize the O-line trench play? Holmgren should be on payroll from February through draft.
Yeah, the O-line was never better than those days.
They
that's
were all
for
high
sure.
picks,
They were
other than Tobeck.
that whole left side, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
And then the right side,
Yeah.
Chris Gray was a second rounder. Locke was a third rounder.
yeah, yeah.
And, take it back. We had Russ Okung, right? He was a 6, overall or something like that. And then we got Earl at 16, something like that. But he was a high pick. And then other than that, Unger was a second rounder. Sweezy was a 6th or 7th that we converted from.
Yeah, Sweezy was a
Deep
defensive tackle, though. Yeah. Not a lot of J.R. Sweezys walking around that you can just make a guard out of.
No, it's hard that when you're going forward your whole life as a defender, like a defensive tackle, and now you got to learn to fucking kick step. That's not an easy skill to master.
We haven't been picking very high enough, really. I mean, sort of. The Witherspoon pick's pretty high. But who was there? I'd have to have the draft
20.
list.
Yeah, well, he was 5, right? Overall, JSM was 20. Yeah. Good point, though.
What guards have been selected that you guys want? Anybody got any, who or not even guards, but just O linemen? Like, what are the whiffs? What are the ones that we should have had? You got to fill it in here.
But like a whiff, is if we took a guard and then someone behind him, like a pick or two or a round later was better, right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, just trying to clarify for them because they're going to go do their research.
Alina says, is it just me or is the changing of the captain each week not a good idea? To me, it undermines the internal moral of the team. Steady wins the race. Players have enough to worry about.
We talked about this when the announcement was made that this was going to be the way they did it. I don't remember the conversation too well, actually, so we could have it here again. Do you like that? Do you not like it? And I think even at the time we talked about how it might not be the steadiest way to do it.
Yeah, no, it's like you have guys that you look to when shit hits the fan. But like if we're changing every week, it's like, okay, well, you're the captain this week. What are we doing, captain? Like, no, that's not how it works.
Right.
Like they all vote on it, and the majority, whoever gets the most votes, that's who they respect in terms of how they go about their business and who they trust.
And it should be that way for the season.
Yeah, and then you can add 2 or 3 in the playoffs. That's what we do. We reward 2 or 3 other guys that have been working their ass off and have meant a lot to the team. And it goes to a vote, though. And it's voted on who? By the players, right? Like, coaches don't vote on that. Like, Mike was always like, it's up to you. Pete, it's up to you. Because when anything becomes special, what do I say? The team takes ownership and accountability. And they police themselves. And so, yeah, that's that could be part of the problem. Right?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, I think that's why we talked about it preseason. I like that they brought it back up here again. I was just sitting here thinking, like, it never really dawned on me how much responsibility that captain would have, or how much of a difference it would make. Because these are highly paid professional athletes. The motivation should be there down to a person, no matter what. But even at this level, they look to those captains in the way that you're describing. Yeah.
Who's the voice of reason?
Yeah.
Who's the authority?
Well, we don't know. We haven't voted yet this week.
Right?
Right. Has it been the same guys?
No.
Has anyone repeated this year yet as a captain? Or is it just different every single time?
Yeah, I think it's different every week.
Yeah. The Kraken didn't name a captain all last season and the season before, and it didn't really go very well. It was just no leadership for a really long time, and now they did, and they're kind of playing pretty good. You need a leader.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
One guy doesn't do it all.
How many are we allowed to have? Is there a limit?
Offense, defense, special team.
Oh, okay. That's it.
And then you might. So I would do that. We have an offense, a defense, and a special team. Now, if you want to send 3 honorary captains to do the coin toss.
Oh.
Cool.
Okay.
But there's got to be offense, defense, special teams, right?
All right. I think so.
Brett Diggs says, I hate making comparisons to the Legion of Boom because there will never be another. But you'd never see Sherm or Brandon Browner mossed by a rookie wide receiver, Coleman, and then next week get one-handed for a walk-off touchdown. Soft.
Ooh, use the S word. Ugh, yeah.
But Browner did have a very bad penalty problem which I don't know if we even got corrected, but we just had so much talent that it didn't matter.
Yeah, he used to get a lot of PIs.
There's a lot. I think he led the league.
Very handsy.
Even in the CFL, too, where he played before. But hell of a player. And, I mean, he knocked so many guys out and forced fumbles. You put up with that stuff, right?
Look, I brought this up a few weeks ago, and I basically got yelled at, and then all these guys around here threatened to beat me up after the show because I brought up Reek and, the amazing rookie season, but then the what have you done for me lately? So I don't really want to bring it up again, but they brought it up, so how about it? I mean, not a good look.
Tough game, right? And I think when he looks back at the one specifically, not the touchdown, I'm actually not as upset for him at the touchdown. The opportunity where, I was, yelling, I go get it. Go get it.
The few plays before.
And there's a whole sideline of nothing but Matthew Stafford standing in his way to end the game on a walk-off interception. And I was like, damn. That was a tough one for Reek. That was crazy.
All right. So then it's not, but it's not more than just this one though. Because I don't know,
What do you got? Say,
I don't know. That's my problem is I can't think of too many bright spots over the course of the last season or so. I mean, I don't know. Really? What? You guys got anything? Anybody? Reek highlight reels running through your head? Okay.
It wasn't healthy last year, but when you tell me all his bad plays, then we can talk about him. Give me facts, bro. And give me a water, please.
Here's another one.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Alicia's back. She says, Brett, Lofa, can we make a soft flag for fans that we can toss at the refs for their blatant errors?
No.
They have to be held accountable. Funds go to charity. They can't be like the U.S. Supreme Court. Shaking my head.
I like that you're bringing solutions, though.
I like the ideas. Yeah.
If
we allowed fans to throw things at refs, no matter how soft they were, though, can you imagine how long the game would take to play? The refs, I feel like the thing that's most frustrating as a fan when it comes to the refs in the NFL is that it feels like there's such common sense answers and solutions that could be put in place, but the NFL and ref and for whatever reason they don't do it, and it's very frustrating. For example, why is it coaches' challenges at all? Why is there a certain number, and then if you get it right, then you get another one, and if you don't get it right, you lose a timeout?
Yeah.
Why isn't it just okay, this is what made me think of it. When they go into overtime, the guy announced as part of his soliloquy that all replays come from the booth during overtime. Why don't they all come from the booth all the time?
All day.
And then they just say into their headset so quickly what happened. They put the ball back down. They don't even have to run to the monitor. And we can just keep this thing going at a pace that everybody enjoys. And
you know who does that? The UFL. And it's beautiful.
I think college to some extent does or did.
I have no idea, but I know UFL.
It's mostly from the replay booth. They buzz down. Yeah. They say, "Hey, here's what happened. Go put the ball here.
So
let's get the game going again."
And waste time. It's just it's not a hold, or it is a hold on so and so. 10-yard penalty, ball to 30.
Yeah. Well, and it just seems silly that we're making a coach throw a red flag on their yellow flag.
I enjoy the throws though. I like to see the arm talent. I like to see.
I think it's funny that the crowd gets such a big kick out of it in certain situations where if the coach throws it with enough gusto, they'll get a nice applause.
I like the hard toss. Take that, showing them up. You threw a flag, check this throw out. And then I like the throw it on the ground, and then you walk away, come pick it up.
Sort of the passive-aggressive, just drop next to him.
Hey, go get that for me.
Right. Yeah. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
Just doesn't make any sense.
True.
What else you got?
Chris.
Good point.
Loreno. Why does our 2-minute offense look so good? Can we not have that mentality all game? It's like a new team in the 2-minute drill. The O-line played awful.
At times we've gone to the 2-minute drill just to change things up. We're stagnant. you know? And guess what? When you go to a 2-minute pace, hurry up, the defense doesn't have time to really, like, think. And defense corner can get a little vanilla because, if you call a blitz and it doesn't get home, and those guys are left on an island, and you got a monster like DK streaking down the field with Geno's arm talent, it's over. So, actually, I think that's what happened in New England's when he just went running by everybody. I think they were bringing pressure on that one. But the no huddle, we started no huddle in that game on the road to quiet the fans. But it's just Geno's got a good command and feel for it. So, yeah, I agree. Like, just stay with it.
Let's try it.
Stay with it.
Yeah. Let's give it a whirl. Whenever we need it, at least. Let's just pick up the pace.
All day fam coming with the great points.
Yeah. Should
Alina's
let us coach a game
She's
as a family, collectively.
Yeah.
Sorry, Katie.
Alina says, think about the fact that we were able to come back and tie the game. Geno was doing something right. He's still my guy. There needs to be a team building activity, especially for the O-line.
Some trust falls.
What would you suggest?
Maybe a ropes course.
Yeah.
Maybe we could, all get on a ferry and go up to Orcas Island during the bye week and spend 3 or 4 nights at a leadership retreat, something up there.
Couldn't hurt.
A few campfires on the beach, little acoustic guitar, play a little Wonderwall.
Oh. I like where you're going with this, though. We're bringing solutions, though. I like that.
Remember when do companies still go on corporate retreats? I feel like it was like a thing, or is that still a thing?
Probably.
Yeah, you have to go on those, and everybody cries it out with their coworkers. Is that what we need here?
Maybe we do need a good cry. Just like,
Maybe like a lock in at the facility.
just like, hey man, what are we doing?
A little sleepover, maybe. Everybody brings their sleeping bags, and we can get out some graham crackers and
Yeah.
some Sunny D.
Figure this shit out. We're gonna hash this out.
Figure it out. We need something, man.
Fight.
Something's got to bring them together. A fight? Somebody getting thrown out? How about Puka getting thrown out?
Paintball with no shirts. Just don't hit the face. Yeah. We're gonna find out who's tough here. Pop, 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 pop.
How about your guy Puka getting thrown out?
Yeah.
What'd you see there? I missed it.
It was after, and they're like, he tackled the guy, and I just kept watching. I was like, that couldn't be why they threw him out.
I
And
thought he
then-
threw
and
a
then he
punch.
and then he got into it with someone, and that all I saw the replay they just cut to like a push or a hit, and
Yeah.
he was out. Thought it would work for us in our advantage, right? In our way.
It might have.
I don't know. Turns out Robinson's pretty fucking good.
It turns out he's pretty great, but we don't know how many points they would have put up if Puka would have stayed out there.
They didn't have any. That was the second quarter. They didn't have any in the first 25 minutes.
Surprising to see a guy get thrown out without it being like the second warning, though. Usually,
Yeah.
you don't get thrown out on the first one.
I don't know, but that was like, we were all just like, oh, yeah, like, let's roll them now.
No, it didn't happen. No.
Chris
What else
Lorraine
you got?
says, not sure what to be more frustrated about. Red zone offense, penalties, O-line, turnovers, bad snaps, no pressure on D. Recent games are hard to watch.
Yeah.
That's a lot of problems.
It's a lot of problems. We went through all of them in the beginning of the show in the rundown here. I mean, red zone offense struggled. Penalties, yuck. The O-line, ugh.
I'm trying to look for a silver lining, and like obviously the penalties piss me off, but like the turnovers, we have a weapon with Michael Dixon to flip the field. So if we just don't give the ball up, we can put our defense, pin them back, put our defense in favorable situations. So I'm kind of like back and forth between penalties and turnovers right now, which are very telling stats to a team's success.
I think for me it's penalties, the turnovers, and then the bad snaps. Yeah. But I think it's penalties and bad snaps. And then the turnovers, because you kind of talked me out of 2 of the picks a little bit.
Yeah.
I've calmed down on 2 of them.
Yeah, one was just flat out. The one that was a touchdown was just flat out Geno's fault.
Yeah, it was
right. But the other one, hit your ass in the hands.
Chris Loreno continues, I knew with a very new staff it was going to take time, but we aren't losing games on new coach mistakes. We're straight up beating ourselves. Sad.
Yeah, Chris, thanks for the comment, man. I mean, we kind of talked about this earlier in the show. I don't know if any of these like decisions, going for it on fourth or not. I think there's smaller like decisions that you see that aren't kind of those like not that he's doing wrong. I just mean like I can't really even think about moments where I'm like, oh, that was the worst decision a coach has ever made. Nothing like that. It's just not working out. It's the execution. I think the players as a whole, the team as a whole, they need to come together and pick the coach up, I think. And the coordinators, both coordinators, offensive and defensive.
I mean, new staff, dude. Like, all these guys haven't worked together a lot. Some of them haven't worked at the NFL level. I mean, it's still football. Like, if you're a football guy, it's still football. But maybe they need a team building session as well.
What would you recommend?
A lot of recommendations. I don't know. My brain's going a million miles
As a
an
team
hour.
building activity?
Oh, no, I thought about like.
Oh, I just meant as an activity. Laser tag?
No, it's too soft.
Oh.
More paintball.
Oh, you're sticking with your shirtless paintball?
Bigger paintball bullets.
It's getting worse.
Lady Call says, name your favorite Hawks player for this season so far for the following: defense, offense, special teams, and trick plays. Be as specific as possible.
Oh, man.
Specificity. What do you got there?
Okay, my favorite player on offense, probably JSN, racking up the yards, having a bit of a breakout season. He's also on my fantasy team, so I'm in love, even after a game like today.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm, not so down.
Offense, I still got to go Geno.
Okay.
One terrible performance, right? Which is last week, actually, not this week. This week did enough to keep it 363, 3 touchdowns to go with those 3 picks.
Okay. How about defensive?
Spohn. I don't see anybody playing with the effort that he plays with. And I don't think anybody is dogging it out there. I don't see people. There is a different tenacity when he's attacking.
You know who had a good game today? I thought was Big Cat.
Yeah.
In the middle. Yeah. Super solid game. I don't know if he's my favorite player of the season so far on defense, but good game today.
Yeah.
Real good game.
Who's your favorite player then?
On defense, I don't know. This is hard. I don't know why. I don't know why it's hard. It shouldn't be that hard. Who is it?
I told you
I
mine.
feel like I want to give you a name, but I can't really. I already know you're gonna ask me why, and I'm trying to back it up before I give him a name.
Okay, special teams.
Special
Anybody?
teams, Dixon,
That's not a bad
the
pick.
world's greatest punter.
Yeah.
That's an easy one for me.
I see a lot of guys doing great things out there, though, like Kayvon Wallace. Like, who else?
Brady Russell makes a lot of
Brady
tackles.
Russell getting active down there.
Mm-hmm.
Cody White.
Mm-hmm.
Blocking the kick. It's tough to just pick one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I could say Dixon.
And then trick plays. Have we run enough trick plays?
I mean, JSN's reverse pass
Just-
or his
yeah.
pass, the double pass.
His pass.
the one that I thought was getting picked off.
That thing hung up there forever.
Well, no, I like the one who threw it across to Charbonnet. That one was sweet. And it was in Atlanta. And I was
I
like,
don't even remember.
she said, get specific. But it was like, I looked at the clock because I thought this had to be like a clock situation where we're trying to maybe get out of bounds, right? I was like, oh, that's a sweet design of a play. And someone caught on the right and just threw a missile over to him, and he took it up the left sideline. And then it looked, there's like 5 minutes left in the half. So I was like, that wasn't even a play of need. Oh, insult to injury. Take that, Atlanta.
Steven Clifuentes. Start Geno first half and Howell second half?
No. I'm going to say no.
But I like the creativity.
I like the
I like
creativity.
what we're doing here.
Has that ever happened? NFL teams going with the 2 quarterback system? It's more of a college thing.
Yeah, college. I can only remember it happened in college.
Yeah.
No one's done it.
Plus, I'd go, if you were going to do that, I'd go, did he say Howell first, Geno second?
No, Geno first. I was second.
But Geno's a closer, though.
He is.
You know?
That's a great
I'm just
point.
saying, if you were going to do it,
Yeah.
I think you put the closer in at the end.
I mean, that makes sense, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm not down with this idea.
Not advocating.
I'm a one quarterback kind of a guy.
Look at you. Old faithful.
That's right.
What good? This is from Chris Loreno. What good teams do is capitalize on other teams' mistakes. We get a pass interference call that we shouldn't have got, and then threw the pick six. We block a punt and then throw a pick. A good team would have scored 2 touchdowns.
Hey, man. I mean, Chris, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Even the opportunities we had, at Buffalo. It was just the snap goes 40 yards deep, and we're second and 22. But, yeah, like we talked about it. Like, we didn't come away with points on either of those drives inside the 5.
Yeah. Yeah, it used to be that if you got to a certain place on the field, some points were almost automatic, because it could just come from a field goal. But more often than not, that's not the case for us. So there's a lot of going for it on 4th down now. It seems very in vogue, no matter where you are on the field.
The numbers say go
Yeah,
for it.
and you come away with no points.
Yeah.
But it's just different NFL than we're used to. That's the thing about the LOB days. Everybody brings up the LOB. The LOB, yeah, but then when they would get the turnover, if they didn't put it in the end zone themselves, we were going to score points off of that. And that's why those games, I think, turned out a lot differently. But now we're not doing anything with it once we get it.
Again, we were very simplistic on offense and defense.
Yeah.
It was not very sophisticated.
Yeah.
We just let them line up and kick ass.
That block punt, though, I mean, that block punt was
I'm
so
talking
sweet.
LOB days.
No, I know, but I'm just going back to this game today. The block punt, the field position after the block punt, that's got to be points.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I know. But I'm just looking at the numbers. Like 2 of 3 on 4th down, though. So numbers suggested, except for the one time, right?
The one time. Should have got it on 3rd, though.
Right.
Shouldn't have even come to that 4th down.
Shouldn't have had it, yeah.
Average Rugger says, at this point, the Seahawks red zone could double as a gift shop. Geno's handing out interceptions like they're souvenirs.
Yeah. One of them.
Yeah, for sure.
That's for sure.
Well, I mean, even a week or 2 ago, the first one sailed over Lockett's head, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He was under pressure, gets smoked by Bosa, but 2 weeks ago.
Bummer, man. Total bummer.
Yeah.
This one's from Howdly Doodly Champion the Diddly Doodler. Very frustrating to have games away where we trade punches with the Lions and dominate the Falcons, then come home and look like trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we a better road team?
What? It's kind of.
It's what it's looking like, right?
Yeah.
Won both
Listen,
of our East Coast trips.
The Bills game was terrible. This game, we were in it. This was a winnable game. This one, the Giants game earlier. These are games that if you are going to do something or if you're going to miss out on doing what we want to do by a narrow margin, that we got to look back on. Tough. What else we got?
Chenna, Bradford needs to go. JSN is him. We need Abe.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to skip to the back. We need Abe. JSN is him. It needs to go. I mean, maybe we need to see somebody else get an opportunity or him at the other side. I don't know. But has it been that bad? I feel like we've all been bad.
They always pick one player, and Bradford. I mean, it was Forsyth, right?
Yeah.
And now it's just Bradford. Yeah. It feels like is who they've set their sights on. It's been Geno for a long time, for at least half the fan base, and that half is never going to change.
Yeah.
By the way, the Geno haters are here to stay.
But the hate's at least spreading. Is that's not a good thing, but
It feels less because it's more spread out
'cause
now.
it's a little more, a little over here,
Oh,
some
man.
right there.
There's just 50% of the fan base that's just always going to hate on Geno no matter what he does. Or even when he does well, they're going to be waiting for him to not do well. And so that it'll fit
The old
the
told you.
storyline that they want it to fit. Yeah, exactly. And that's just how it goes, right?
Yeah.
But then on top of that, I feel like there's always like another player they'll just pick out, and Bradford's the one right now.
Yeah.
Can you blame the entirety of the struggles on Bradford? I mean, no, it's a whole unit. We
Yeah.
had Charles Cross on this last week talking about chemistry, talking about the fact that unit needs to have a chemistry in order to play together well, and they don't have it right now.
And then like the penalties, like we're all making penalties, or a bad snap, or like so. It's just like one guy's not going to change it. It's never the case in football.
Howdly Doodly Champion, the Diddly Doodler, says that Sam could be the guy, but not now. I want him sitting for 2 years like Geno and get comfortable in the system.
Yeah, I think that's right. Quarterbacks have to develop these days.
Yeah,
Like we talked about this.
yeah,
They're getting failed at multiple levels: high school, college, NFL, right? And I think, that could be also in part of why we see a lot of penalties from everybody. The Rams are one of the least penalized teams. They had 8 today. Is it just like anytime they play the Hawks, someone else is getting 8 to 10 flags too? I want to go back and look at that now because I've seen there was 23 or 20. We had 11 and Bills had 13. There was 24 in that game,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So it's like,
yeah. We
What
were
is-
talking about flags after that
what
one
is
too.
happening?
I don't know. It's
But-
a lot of flags.
Well, yeah, I agree. Howell needs to develop. He had some great weapons in Washington, and he did a hell of a job. Just it always comes back to that Chicago Monday night game when he got like his first start, and he was getting pelted. He just kept getting up and answering the call, brought them down, just throwing strikes. It was awesome. So I do believe in that kid.
This comes from Average Rugger. Uso, we need you back in the building to teach rugby, tackling Brian Lima the chiropractor style. None of this tag nonsense.
I mean,
What are they talking about?
It is rugby style tackling is so this is what Rocky Seto brought to the Seahawks. And since Rocky Seto's departure, right, we still had a lot of great coaches, but the emphasis was not there. Rocky had to teach tape every week. And we would go over the style, profile, like line him up, get body on body. Or you'd strike through the track the near hip, near shoulder, near foot, and run through him. And there was a plan or style for different running backs, even and the emphasis, just isn't there right now. But it wasn't there when Rocky left. Like we slowly became a worse tackling team. Like I think I want to say he leaving 17 or 18, but you can look at the numbers and yards after contact went up. All these things because the way you teach it is like there's no cutting back. You're tracking that hip and you're running through them. You can't cut back on that.
Where do we go from here
In terms of
with this season? With this
season?
team, with this is all lost?
No,
Are we packing it in?
sounds like you are.
No, I'm asking you.
No,
Where do we go from here? Everybody seems all down in the
I
dumps,
was-
and
I'm not gonna
you know,
lie. My
it's
fucking
not
blood
over.
pressure went up today. And
Yeah?
I felt this one like right up in here.
Yeah, it finally got to you.
It did. I was like, oh,
I tried to push the panic button like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Nobody was with me.
I'm still not panicking. I fucking like felt it. I was like nauseous.
Okay.
I can't imagine, and because I even asked my mom. I was like, Mom, have I ever lost in that fashion? Like, we're gonna win. Oh shit, they won. Like I was like confused.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I was watching the game, I was like, did that really just happen?
Yeah. This one just, to me, it just feels like it's been mounting for a bit.
It is, but we got the bye. This is where you take these, get healthy, and we need DK back, right?
Yeah.
Looks like we might have found another option in Cody White, right? Made the most of his opportunities. figure out what do we do well, what's our identity of going forward, and then we come back and get to fucking work. Like, it's as simple as that. What can we streamline to make easier that we can just play faster? And just there's no gray area. It's like, like numbers, guys, like the analytics, it's black and white. That's why I like numbers. Yes, it's yes or no. And none of this in between shit. Numbers, I love numbers.
So simplify through the bye week.
Yeah.
All right.
Just get everything clean,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Remove any excess thinking.
Okay. I like it.
Flying Clutchman says, how do you two feel about an all hands on deck mentality? Should DK be playing to block and distract? It's a different team without him.
I'm not going to question someone's ability to play through pain. I mean, I did it. It wasn't awesome. But it's your career, and we need him for more than 2 games. Like, we're still, even though we're 4th in division, right? Everybody else is like 500. Like, Arizona might be the only one with a winning record. So there's no panic button. There's no anything. It's just fucking get back to work.
Yeah, nobody's running away with it this year where you really got to
Well, you're like, oh, we're
freak
falling.
out right now yet.
Like, these games are, they're very
I
important.
mean, every divisional game from here on out, though, is an absolute must-win.
Yeah.
We only got, how many do we have left? 4?
Yeah, 0-2.
We have, because we haven't played the Cardinals yet.
Cardinals.
And
we
then
play them twice. We play the Niners after we come back.
Yeah,
And
4
then we
more
gotta go to the
divisional
Rams
games.
At the end, yeah.
We got to get all of those. That's for sure.
Or at least split, because if they keep doing this, but you don't, like I said, you don't want this to be another 2010 season where you're just like looking at, like, we lost again, and you look up like, oh, they all lost too? How's this possible?
But if you win the division, you're in.
Oh, I still, like, couldn't wear that shirt.
Average
Here you
Rutgers,
go.
speaking of the 2010 season, this season feels very 2010-ish. There is hope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, that gave us one of our greatest Seahawks moments of all time.
Beastquake.
That's right.
Yeah.
You didn't have that season, you wouldn't have that.
True.
And the reason, half the reason that, well, no, I don't know, half, you can't quantify it, but part of the reason that moment was so big was because the low seed taking on the high seed, putting the game away, defending champs,
The
blah,
first
blah, blah.
time a team with a losing record
Right.
made the playoffs, and everybody's like, oh, it's despicable. I even thought it was kind of fucking, like, nasty. I was like, ew. But I was like, yo, like, we knew going into that game, we're like, yo, we can get these guys, no
Yeah.
problem. We got them on our turf, like, because they beat us by, I think, like 10 or 14, maybe more in New Orleans early in the season. But 12s, they rallied for us, gave us some penalties, right? And then we beat the defending champs.
And that moment propelled, untold things into the future. I mean, that moment, it opened the window that became the window. You know? Yeah. Maybe we can have another one of those moments this year.
To your earlier
Listen how positive I'm trying to be.
Eaglet Snupper jumps back in. To your earlier point, Lofa, Unger was traded away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think he made a couple more Pro Bowls.
Yep.
But he was also asked to do something drastically different in that offense than he was here. Here, we fucking went downhill and ran. And you're playing with Drew Brees, you're back here all day. Little less taxing, right? You're not trying to move someone out of the hole. You're just, hey, don't get through this gap.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's easy, right? Never played center. But I think health-wise, he stayed a lot healthier over there. And it's because of what they asked him to do. So I thought, it was a great trade for both sides. You get a 6'8", 260, 40-inch vertical tight end that we probably didn't use enough. But Jimmy Graham, what a beast.
Trenton McLeod says, with the trade deadline coming up on Tuesday, are there any moves that you guys would like to see made, such as an O-line reinforcement to save Geno?
Well, you're saying trade deadline, so this is where, like, I'm not sure what all the pieces would be and this and that and what you get coming back and all the, like, back-end business end of that. But anything you can do to beef up the O-line, I'm all for.
I mean, at that point, you'd have to look for a team that's got like 1 or 2 wins. And are they selling at the deadline? Are they like, you know what? It's built for the future. Yeah, you can take this guard. He's one of our best players, but we can't give him $100 million extra anyways. So you're gonna have to make the decision after the short-term rental.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That's a good question. I will look that up. And have that answer for you. I mean, we'll know by Tuesday, right? But that's, I think, the only way something like that works out. Good question.
Davis Love. Does McDonald look a bit overwhelmed as coach?
What do you think?
If you're asking me just like as you're watching TV and they cut away to him, does he look overwhelmed? I don't think so. I don't think like he's giving off some sort of, unconfident like air to him or anything like that. And then we talked about like moment to moment, is he getting out coached in some of the decision making and things like that? I don't really think so. I just think it's the execution that's not really there. He challenged a play today that I think was the right time to challenge. Like I think he's doing the right things as a coach. He's saying all the right things in the post-game press conferences, things like that. It's just not really translating on the field with the players right now.
Yeah, it takes a little time for a new system to take effect, right? New processes and everything for not just the coaches, but the players. He started a little slow in Baltimore as the coordinator, and then they just got very strong. And then the next year was even better. And so I'm not worried. I don't think he looks overwhelmed. He looks very poised out there, if anything. Very impressed with how he's handled himself. When shit goes sideways, looks better than some coaches have been doing it for years. Like he just poised in the moment, like, okay. But yeah, I just think maybe there's a little too much in terms of volume for plays on either side if we're not getting clean execution.
And needs Marshawn back on the sideline, rubbing his shoulders, calming him down. That's what he needs.
Ryan Mahoney says, no sacks today. How can the D get home? Go Geno.
Yeah, I was surprised when I looked up and saw that there was a goose egg on the board because they were getting after him.
Yeah, and even when we haven't had a lot of sacks, we've had great pressure numbers. And, yeah, it wasn't that noticeable like it has been in weeks prior. So I think that's probably a lot to do with people running for $150 on average. It's like, what do we do here? Like, how do we just – and today looked like there was no crazy long runs that I saw. It was just like literally a consistent 3, 5, 1, 2. So maybe we have figured something out, which will make it easier in the pass game going forward. But, yeah.
Stafford's savvy.
Yeah.
Because you would think, he's a guy who's not such a mobile guy. He's not like a scrambler or anything like that.
No, but he got rid of the ball, like you're saying.
He just gets rid of the ball.
He saw.
And he just slide and get rid of it. He throws it out of bounds. He lives to play another day. He's just savvy.
He knows when it's a shit situation and is not going to jeopardize or risk anything and just, throw it at the feet of a receiver to make sure it doesn't get picked. Right?
Yeah.
Alina says, Lofa, I love you, but you're wearing the wrong color shirt. You should be wearing purple and gold. Bow down. Don't come to the doghouse with the second longest winning streak in the nation. Go Dogs.
Hey, shout out to Alina for bringing up the Huskies.
Yeah. I got to give credit,
We didn't make a bet or anything beforehand. We probably should have.
I think we were both scared. I think you said you were scared, and I didn't say it.
Not exactly been a great year for either one of our college teams.
Right?
I even texted you. I said, we're both 4-4? What the hell is going on? When was the last time USC and Washington were 4-4 going up against each other?
I don't know, but you want to know what's funny? Well, not really funny. It was kind of sad. Every morning, I like to just go on my music, and I hit shuffle and just see what the first one that pops up. I shit you not, it was Bow Down by West Side Connection. And I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Uh-oh.
I was like, I don't deserve this.
That was a fun game, though. It was entertaining.
It was awesome.
Entertaining game.
Throwing it 50 times in the pouring rain when your running back's averaging 5 a carry.
It's coming down out there.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And then it was like crystal clear for the fourth quarter. Like it got really nice out.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, that was crazy.
That is a tough one for you. Fun one for me.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Alina says, Lofa, I got a t-shirt idea for you. A play on your strategically placed initials. No L when there is big T. Wait, get your mind out of the gutters. It means no losses when there are big tackles.
All right.
Okay, I like it. I like the creativity. I like where you're going with that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know, my new name's Jimmy. Just call me Jimmy Football from now
You
on.
guys didn't see that on Instagram? Is it on Instagram?
Yeah, it's somewhere. but-
Yeah.
And now people are jumping into like comments. Like, I know that guy. He's Jimmy.
What's up, Jimmy?
Jimmy's brother.
Lofa was signing autographs before the game last week, and some guy just yelled, "Hey, Jimmy!"
Like, just kept yelling it. And I was like, I'm the only one over here. And then I look up and he's just looking me in the eye. He's like, Jimmy, take a picture. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not Jimmy, but I'll take a picture, man.
The last comment here tonight, guys, for tonight. Alina's back says, FYI Seahawks 49ers watch party at Stimpy's Bar. Silent auction, rifle prizes, etc. Hosted by Fans for Good, Mike Brown and at Norb Cam. 12:30 on 11/17, which is next Sunday at the 40 during the
2
party.
Sundays from now.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Shout out.
And
And then, yep, go ahead.
Lofa and Brett, I will pay for you both to go to the Inside Passage in Seattle on Pike to wash away the bad juju with whatever you want and at least a drink.
You know what?
One-eyed Willie.
Oh, one.
You know what? I'm gonna get some sage. I'm gonna go sage.
Yeah.
The VMAC. That's what I'm gonna do for you.
Are you?
Sage,
Nice.
That while they're on bye week, I'm gonna
Please.
sage it up.
They need that, man. They need that. Hey, thanks to everybody for joining tonight. Thank you guys for commenting. It's so appreciated. We love you guys. Check out the merch. Get the hoodies, get the t-shirts, get the hats. It's alldaybrand.co. Check us out on all social media. It's at alldayfamily on Instagram, at alldaypod on Twitter. Lofa's on Twitter and Instagram. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. Shout out to Bet Online, Delta, Simply Seattle, EpicSeats.com. Like we said, a lot more Seahawk fans in there and a lot more loud than in the past week. So good for you 12s for that. I mean, at least we all had a good game as fans.
Fans had a hell
You know
of
what
a
I'm
game.
saying? Fans showed
Hell
up
of a
and showed
game.
out this game.
Yeah.
We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Anything else to say to the people before we get out of here?
It's gonna be all right. Just believe. And I love you guys.